I can give you plenty. And all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor. I can give you plenty, and all I am asking for is just a teensy tiny bit of your soul. Accept my generous offer and profit, or be a goody-goody and obey the rules in fear. The decision is yours. Of course, every action has a consequence. And far more is at stake than just your reputation. So, tell me, sire, do we have a deal? Oh, it's you, my lord. It's been a while, and I'm thrilled to offer you my humble services. Let me help you to build a rich and fabulous city. What? Oh, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves. Do I look like a carpenter? No, I see myself more as an investor.
Hello everybody!
Hi.
We are live from Essen Spiel. Welcome back. I am here with the legendary CG designer Vlada Kado. Hi, how are you, Vladia?
Well, I'm in Essen and lots of games everywhere, and I'm in this mood that everyone is playing, everyone is having fun, and I want to do games.
You want to play games,
more than
meetings, I suppose.
Yeah.
But still, it's like it's always a celebration. Seeing people from like the industry, old friends, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's always nice to see the new games as well. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying yourself aside from all the tiring stuff that every company has to do. Yeah, so we're starting today's live stream talking about the new expansion of Galaxy Tracker, the Keep on Tracking. And after this, we have a lineup of a lot of other guests talking about their new Essen releases. So we're starting with our own game, Galaxy Tracker Keep on Tracking. And I would like to ask you first of all, so this is the expansion for the relaunched Galaxy Tracker, right?
Yeah.
The first one was released, if I'm correct, 15 years back. The original game.
The original game was like 16 years. Yeah,
16 years ago.
And this was the first expansion was 15 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's a long time, but still people are playing Galaxy Tracker. And the Keep on Tracking expansion is very close to what was the big box of the original game.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit what's the difference between the Keep on Tracking and the big box expansion for people who don't know?
We just we published the big expansion. It's not big box, right? Big expansion, yeah. The same box as the original game, and we kept this format also here. And what's similar is that more of everything, yeah.
Right.
There are new tiles, new adventure cards, new aliens, and new ships, yeah.
New ships, yes.
And it was similar. There were some parts in the original expansion that we decided to not include to keep the size of the box, but it was those that were like less played than others. Yeah, when we added some stuff that was not there. Yeah, so because we now have 15 years of experience with Galaxy Tracker, we are playing a lot. We were publishing other expansions, so we now know. I personally know what I like most on the expansions, and I can ask other people what do you like most about the original Galaxy Tracker and the expansions. So we decide to include those things. Yeah.
Right.
And they love new aliens, so there are new aliens. Yeah. And in the original game there are 2 colors of aliens. Now there is a third. There is again some module that he needs this module to be attached to the cabin as in the original, in the base game, but it has not some simple ability. There are some cards, and when you prepare your ship for launch, if you have this alien, you choose one according to what your ship needs.
Right.
These cards are similar as were in the original big box, but they are tweaked. This guy, how many of you has played original big box?
Yeah,
lots of
them.
Yeah. So this is a bit tweaked. It was too strong, and we knew it. And this was too weak, so now it is a bit stronger. Yeah. So we balanced the cards, and we added one that was not ever published before, but all the good ones are there.
Okay.
So
do you have an alien that is your favorite, or you don't have any favorites?
Actually, I should not have favorite, because if there is some that I don't like, I should make him stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe there's one that you really like.
I really liked Techie, but I made him weak because he was too strong.
Okay.
No, it depends on it more depends on the cards you see, on how you build your ship. Yeah. Now Techie is good only if you really have lots of stuff for batteries. Merchant is good if you have enough cargo spaces. Micro Navigator is good for those that are behind, because he allows you like to little catch up the others. Yeah. So and maybe if talking about my personal, it's manager, because I like to play with aliens, and he very much playing with aliens.
Okay. Can I show this closer?
But not
Yeah.
always. Yeah. Now there
Yeah.
are also these titles, and it depends on which title you have. Yeah. If you are playing the Galaxy Track, there are 2 new titles.
Yeah.
This one rewards if your ship is symmetric. If there is gun, there is also gun. There is cabin, there is also cabin, and so on. Yeah.
So basically, these are design challenges, like how do
Yeah.
you building
Yeah.
challenges,
Yeah,
how you build your ship. Yeah.
And this one encourages you to use all the new technologies. Yeah, the new technologies because new technologies, this expansion, these tiles, are mostly about connecting stuff. Yeah, in original game, except for this alliance, for alliance modules, it was not necessary to put stuff together. In this expansion, it's lots of tiles that work only if connected to particular type of tile. For example, I don't know, here, this is a gun booster, cannon booster, and to work, it needs to be attached to a cannon. Yeah, and now it can boost like more cannons. There are, if you have more cannons connected, it boosts more cannons. Compared, there was some boosters also in the original big box, but in original box, when you used booster, you discarded this.
Okay.
And it was like interesting gaming mechanics. You sacrifice something and so on, but we decided that we don't like it because we want to play perfect. Yeah, we want to not count with losses.
Yeah.
You don't count with losses and you lose lots of stuff anyway. Yeah, but so we decided to make this rule different. The same
Okay.
goes with engine booster that boosts engines. You may notice this tiles that are both engines and guns together, but they have also limitations of both. So, for example, this is great. If I put also this here, then this space has to be free because of this
Yes.
and this.
It's a cat.
Yeah, but if I put it here, then it was probably not very good because these 2 spaces have to be free.
Yes.
Yeah, and I cannot build here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's this boosters,
challenge.
and there are others. One of my favorites is catapults. Catapults are here,
Yes.
and catapults work only if connected to cargo spaces. That's why we added some special cargo spaces. This is like double core. This is special indestructible plating, so it cannot be destroyed from this side and so on. But if I put it like here, then or maybe even like here, then at the start of the flight, I get a free rock for each adjacent cargo space.
Right.
And now, whenever I need, I can use this catapult to throw this rock towards meteors or enemies and
yeah.
so on. Yeah.
This
There
is
are-
completely new, right? The catapult was not in the previous game.
It was not. It was never published in any printed edition.
Okay.
But there was catapult in digital version of Galaxy Tracker in the app. But it was in the expansion of the app. But it worked a bit different way than here. Yeah. We decided to go different way. You can notice there are some small arrows here, and the catapult can shoot only these directions. But it works as a gun in this direction. So, for example, if there is a big meteor coming this way, I can shoot it from here because to sight I can shoot in 3 lines. Yeah. If it goes from here, I can hit it. If it goes from here, I cannot use this catapult because it shoots only these 3 ways,
Yeah.
and you lose the goods.
Yes.
In the app, it's a bit, there are also the catapults can fire also people.
Oh.
But we decided it's too cruel. We just
Too
like
cruel.
these small guys so much.
Yes.
We decided we will not throw them
Yes.
against rocks and enemies.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. And there's some new adventure cards, right?
Yeah, new adventure cards are a bit harsh. Yeah. But it makes it spices the game, of course. Yeah. So they have some good and bad stuff on them. Yeah. For example, this is junkyard. Junkyards were also in the original big box, and they were fun, but we made them a bit even more usable.
Right.
And you face some challenge, and you get some reward. Yeah. And you pick in order. Yeah. For example, if you have cannons to the this side, I have this catapult, it covers pretty well, and I have shields on the other side. Then I can say, okay, I think I can survive this. Let's try.
Yeah.
I get 2 shots from the left. I get 2 big meteors from the right, and then I get all these rewards. Yeah. I can choose if I want people or batteries. And the same goes with all the lines. Or I can, like here, I can sacrifice 2 guys and 2 batteries and 2 goods if I have them to get 10 credits, which can be good. And the point is, if you see this card in advance, is you say, oh, okay, I know this card. That means I should cover one side and cover the other by the shields, and then I get this or this, yeah. Or there are meteors from behind. There is not much meteor from behind, but if you protect your ship from behind, you can easily say, okay, this is good reward just for shooting 2 meteors from the rear. So yeah. Actually, all these cards are made the way that it's useful to see them.
Yes.
Yeah, you can prepare for them.
My eye called also the bad day.
Yeah.
I quite love the naming of this.
Yeah. Basically, these are events from the these 3 events are not new. They are in the base game. Yeah. This is epidemic. This is sabotage, and this is stardust.
Yes.
But if you play a lot original Galaxy Tracker, you know that Epidemics is never in the Flight 1 because it is level 2 card, yeah, and Sabotage is never in level 2 card, in level 2 flight because it's so to mix it up. We created this card which says on the first flight only this applies, this is only this card, yeah. But it's Epidemic, it was never there, so now you have to take care if you see this card about not connecting cabins even on the first flight. In the second flight, it goes like this and this together.
Oh, okay.
And on the third flight, you have all 3, and it's a really bad day because they are in the worst possible order. First, epidemics kills your people, then you get destroyed some components because you have too few people, and then this explode connector throws you back. Yeah? So if you see there is this car, you should take care about all this stuff. You should have enough people, but not connected to each other, and not too much exposed connectors.
Right.
That's basically it. And my favorite was this car. I don't know.
We have time. We have some time.
It's there's not that much cards in it because we don't want to deal with we want all the old events to show also. So this is like several meteor swarms in one, this meteor vortex. But you can choose one direction. You use this is not ship, but you use your ship to mark, okay, I go this way, so I'm protected from this side. So this says, in the flight 1, there is meteor from the left, big meteor from the right, but you can decide, okay, I'm prepared only for the one from the left, so I will cover this. Or I can say, I'm prepared for both sides, I'm afraid of the front one, so I put this here.
You choose one that you're safe.
Yeah, you choose one.
But the rest of them, they happen.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But sometimes they are pretty harsh, and if you see this card, even if you cover one side, it is still pretty harsh. So there's also destruction, but this is what Galaxy Tracker is about.
Wow.
Or this white open space is just like open space, but you move twice as long, twice as far. And I have seen games where someone noticed there's a lot of open space and this one, and they just managed to let others to get over the rise because they didn't look at the cards. They didn't know there is need for lots of engines.
Right.
So this is
for, I guess, for players who want even more new challenges, right?
It's you can play. It is for players that like even more surprise, or even more like tactic in the game. It works for both. I have seen both groups to play it. They have more like this destructive fun, but also like more thinking, okay, I have seen this card, what I should do. And then there are these ships, they have all some special, they have different shapes, and they have some sort of, you may know this ship from the base game of the original
Yes.
game. But here it comes with some special warping mechanisms. And warping is not for making fast. It is for the meteors to warp. So if you are hitting from the front and you roll 10, normally it would go off your ship, but now it bends and goes here. So it's all the ships have something special. This is like special shape, completely different than the other. This is also different shape with this sticking stuff. It can go this way or this way or this way. You roll at the start.
You choose. Oh, you
No,
roll.
you roll.
Yes,
You roll
yes.
at the start which way it is this time, and if you see the numbers, they are denser here. It's impossible to miss this ship.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
unless it's
All the
missing.
meteors will hit you.
Yeah. So this is basically what's in the game. Yeah, and we should not forget there was this free app with these cards. These cards are so lovely. Just if you feel them, touch them, it's better.
Exactly, yeah.
It's better than the app, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
we
is.
decided to print them, and we added also some new that were not back in the first expansion, the big box original, neither in the app, yeah. And we tweaked some and added some. This is, for example, completely new one. One of my favorite. It says, if there is only one. If you know Galaxy Tracker, you can see beauty of this, yeah?
Yeah?
If there is only one roll that could damage it, just use this result instead of what was rolled, yeah? So, if you have only one hole, this always hits it. And this card is in the game, it always hits you, yeah?
Yes.
So, that's what's called Murphy's Law.
I love the Rough Roads expansion, and it's great that people can find it in the box. By the way, the Galaxy Tracker Keep on Tracking is available here at Essen. You can buy it at the fair and also on retail everywhere,
Yeah.
right? It's
And
been
I must,
released.
when I see the box, I need to say one thing.
Okay.
This picture is beautifully animated in a trailer that our
Yes.
people did it, and I love this trailer so much that whenever I'm in a bad mood, I just look at it, and it's so beautiful. So Google Keep on Tracking trailer,
Yes,
and
it's on our channel.
and if you have not seen it, I guarantee you will have
Yes.
better day.
Yes, and love the music as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have much time,
Yeah.
much more time. We have to go on to the next game. We have a couple of questions from chat, but I don't know if you have time because you also need to go
Yeah, I have
to
one
your
meeting, yeah.
meetings. So, maybe if you have a very quick answer to this. Are there any plans for solo modes?
We have the app. This is good
There's the
solo
app.
mode,
Yeah, there's the app.
But
Yeah, there's the app.
there is campaign, in the app is a campaign. There is a possibility to play against AI, to play turn-based or real time, to set difficulty, to amount of flights, special. So it's hard to beat this with but I know people like solo modes, so it may happen in the future.
Yes. Okay, then I'm gonna let you go to your meeting. I
Yeah.
don't want to keep you more. Thank you so much for
Okay.
being here.
Goodbye.
Say bye to Vlade, everybody, and hope to have you on stream soon.
Okay.
It was lovely to see you again.
Okay.
And thank you so much
Bye.
for
Thank
your
you.
explanation. And we are moving on to our next guest. We are going to have on stream Bezier games with Castles of Mad King Ludwig Royal Collector's Edition. It's been set up. It looks gorgeous. And please welcome on stream Kevin, who will tell us all about the game. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going good. How are
Excellent.
you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Look at that. It is beautiful. I want to show it also from here. Ta-da! I really love the art of this one. Could you tell us some, this is the collector's edition, but it's a reimplementation of the previous game?
That is correct. This is the
Okay.
Royal Collector's Edition. So, if you've never played Castles of Mad King Ludwig, this comes with all the expansions that exist to date, as well as 2 new expansions. So, you've got the Tower expansion, as well as the Royal Decrees, but it's all upgraded components, all new board, all new movement pieces. It's got all this updated artwork. The original was, it's a fantastic game, the original, but if nothing else, it's a little dated in terms of artwork, so we've jazzed it up, and man, is it pretty.
Yeah, it is very pretty. Look at those swans. Oh, and these are heavy as well.
Yes, if you look at the bottom, they've got this nice weight to them.
Yeah.
They're not magnetic, people like to ask.
Okay.
But,
can I put it on my fridge?
oh, you can try, it won't stick.
Okay, so can you tell us something about the gameplay?
Oh, absolutely. So it's a tile placement game where you take turns being the master builder. The master builder will price the specific rooms that are come up, and the master builder will choose last, going clockwise. Everyone will pick the rooms based on the prices the master builder has set for them. They'll purchase those rooms and pay the master builder, and then they'll add them to their castles. So you must match the different doorways in order to build your castles. And when you play a room, you get the points in the top left corner. And if it's attached to a specific type of room, you'll gain bonus points. Or in this case, you'll lose points.
Okay.
But so let's see. For example, if this room were connected to this room, you would get 6 points, but you would lose 2 points because it shouldn't be connected to an activity room because it's noisy. This is activity, and this is a utility room. But ultimately, the goal is to gain points from placing rooms, and then you'll have several goals in the beginning. So you'll get points for the most downstairs rooms at the end. Whoever has the most will get 8 points. Second most will get 4 points, 2 points, 1 point. You'll get points for the largest square footage of yellow rooms. This is part of the new Towers expansion. I think I got one hidden there, yes.
Ooh, okay.
So those are a new room type that is implemented because of the Towers expansion. And then longest path of rooms. So if the room's all connected, let's see, this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because it's the longest pathway.
Okay.
So you get points that way at the end. Royal Decrees is the newest, one of the newest expansions alongside Towers. So every player will get a specific public knowledge goal for them. So you'll get 12 points if you have no rooms or stairs. Or when you complete a corridor, you will take stairs and a hallway, opposed to the standard room completion reward, where you get a stairs or a hallway.
Right.
I should mention, when you complete any of these rooms, you get a bonus, and completing a room is when you close off all doorways. So for example, in this one, you get 5 bonus points. You get a free stairs or hallway. A sleeping room, you get to add 2 rooms of your choice from a specific stack to the top, so they'll definitely be for sale next round.
Okay.
But yeah, so when you complete each of these, you get the bonus, and whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Right.
Yes.
And how long is the game?
It depends how many times you've played before. I'd say 40 to 80 minutes. If you look at the box, I think it says 60 to 90, but...
Okay. And how many players?
It is 1 to 4 players. I think it's 1 to 5 actually with the expansion, I lied.
Oh, okay, yes.
There's also, so this is the Royal Collector's Edition.
Yes.
There's also the Royal Collector's Plus Colossal Edition.
Okay.
So you'll see this is the standard size of a 600 room. The Colossal Edition is 4 times the size, so all the pieces will be this size.
Cool.
Yes.
And what is this? Because this looks interesting.
Oh, yeah,
We
so-
haven't talked about this yet.
All of our trays are designed by Game Trays. And this one has specifically all of the existing expansions for castles. So this is the Moats expansion, where you try to build a moat around your castle. This is the Swans expansions, where you'll notice some of these cards have swans. So when they're placed, they'll get a swan token as well. And at the end, you'll get points for if you've collected different sets of swans. There's different color swans. And then this is the Secret Passages expansion, where you can connect different rooms in different ways.
All right.
Yes.
So you got great, very different sort of combinations in every game.
Every time you play this game, it's different depending on which expansions you want to use. Absolutely.
Right. I have a question from chat,
Yes.
which is, are there any thoughts on a space version spin-off?
Not yet. I'll ask Ted if he's thought about it at all.
Okay. Think about it, maybe.
I'll mention it to him.
It will be a success.
Castles in space.
Castles in space.
I like it.
I wanted to also ask you, what is the connection to what was the game? Between two cities?
There's Between Two Cities and there's Castles in Mad King Ludwig, and we worked with Stronghold Games and we've made Between Two Castles.
Right.
So Between Two Castles is it plays similarly, but you're building a castle with the person on your left and the person on your right, and you'll win based on. You could win one of two ways. You could win if the castle on your right is the best castle, or the castle on your left. Two people will always win. So it plays similarly. I believe I haven't played Between Two Castles in a long time, but I believe they're not as intricately shaped. I think they're all squares. But yeah, so if you like Between Two Castles, then this is the game that it's spun off of. So you'll probably like this one as well.
Yeah, so it's the same sort of audience, the same sort of people would like these games.
Absolutely.
Okay, this looks absolutely stunning. Where can people find it?
Oh, absolutely.
If they're not here at Essen, I suppose that the audience is not probably here at Essen.
This makes sense.
Where can they find it?
At beziergames.com, it is available for sale. It is 200, euro, because our audience, 200 euro for just the collector's edition, and 300 euro for the colossal with the large tiles.
Okay, all right. And here at Essen, if someone would like to find it here and buy it?
Yes, we are in Hall 1, and we are E107.
All right, awesome. And this feels very heavy. Could I just open it and see what's inside?
You can, however, it is mostly empty. You can look at the game trays.
Okay. All right, but there are some game trays in here.
Yeah, there's some game trays in there. I've got some of our poker chips in there. So the actual box is very heavy.
Yeah,
yes.
I also wanted to talk about the poker chips. They feel like really nice on the hand.
They're modeled after the original Splendor poker chips. We really loved how those felt in our hands, so we tried to go with those as well. There's also some nice metal coins, and those are really heavy too.
Okay. The quality is fantastic. It's phenomenal. Well done.
Thank you.
And yeah, good luck with everything. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having us.
And I hope people can have a chance to check it out.
I hope so as well. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
Take care.
And next up, we have Godot Games with Among Cultists. A nice and light social deduction game, as far as I know. We should welcome Stefan Godot to talk about the game.
Thanks.
Hi,
Hello,
you're Stefan?
Hi.
Eleni, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, so this is probably better if we
Yeah, of
put
course.
it this way,
If it's
because
better for
people
you.
see it
Yeah, no
as
problem.
we see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's easier. Okay.
So we have with us Among Cultists,
Yes.
right? I'll show the box to the people. Look at that. And this is also among the hottest games at Essen. And we would love to know, how it plays, for who is it for, everything you'd like to tell us about the game.
Yeah, sure. So this is a social deduction game. This is for 4 to 8 players, and it's completely language independent, so there's nothing to read here in the game. So it's pretty easy rules. And this is, you could say, based on Among Us, the video game. So if you already played this or see this, so this is really lots of inspiration was there. So we are here in the Lovecraft theme. So the cultists were already in our university, and they try to awake a great old one, of course. And we are the investigators and try to avoid it, of course.
Right.
So we have 10 rounds in this game, so 10 hours maybe, to reach some points, depending on the player count, of course. So maybe with 4 players we need 10 points to reach. This is pretty easy because we're going through a big university into rooms and we try to find some special cards. So maybe this one. So this is a good sign for us. So with this sign we could bring one book from this room to the shelf, and now we have the shelf done. Now we get 4 points. So it's pretty easy. So we try to fulfill the shelf so we can get the points in the game. But of course we can. It's an Among Us feeling. You can try to find the traitors, and we can start a vote. And with the majority, of course, we can vote out all the enemies in the game. And if they are all cultists are voted out, we could win the game. Of course, there's no player elimination. If someone is voted out, this player becomes a ghost. Ghosts are faster because they can run through walls and stuff like that. So they can help the team a lot. But of course, you must vote on the right person. Otherwise, you help the other players, right? Yeah. But the other players, the cultists, most of them, the time there are 2 of them, they have a night phase at the start of the game, so they know each other, and they have other options to win the game, because they want to sabotage your game. They don't want to see the points, so they can bring other cards into the rooms. Maybe cards with a red cross that you have no progress if you draw them. So this card would give you nothing, or just a waste of turn. Or maybe a sabotage card where you lose progress. So one thing from the shelf will go back into the room, which is not good. So you can do lots of deduction here. Who was in this room? Why did you go there? And all the stuff. So this is one option. But of course, the better option is to kill the good guys. So it is a little bit tricky because no one else should see that you killed a person, and it's easy in a video game, but it's not so easy on a board game. But we have a good spot here. So maybe I'm in this position. I want to go to this position. So I move 1, 2 steps through the doors. But now we're in the situation because both players are in the same room, and now they have an encounter both characters.
Right.
So you have hand cards, and I give one hand card face down to your pulse deck, so to your pulse. And the other player, of course, doing the same to my pulse. And now maybe I'm dead, or maybe you are dead, because this is the moment where somebody could kill the other one. So let's check. Maybe, okay, you killed me. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So this is possible. So I'm dead now, but I didn't know this, you know. So I still think I'm alive, like in the Sixth Sense movie. So I'm still thinking I'm alive. I'm a human. I can do my stuff. But in the end, I'm already dead. Okay.
And when do you get to know that?
Yeah,
At the end?
the best. No, I will tell you in a second.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
So maybe now I'm dead. I don't know. Maybe if there's a third person in the room, then there's no encounter because you have a witness, right? No one would kill another one with there's someone who can scream or something like that. But maybe there's an event. The power turns off. Now there's a big encounter with all of the 3. So this could also be dangerous. But yeah, exactly. What can you do to find dead players? This is important. Of course, you want to try to find the good cards. We'll bring good cards into the rooms and get your points. But you need to find out who's dead and who's not. So I can use the camera in the security room to check other rooms or other players, or I can check a player in my room, of course. So maybe in this situation, I could say, okay, I will check if you are still alive. So I will take your pulse deck, I shuffle it, I check the cards, and now I can say, oh, you are dead. So now you are a dead player. We have a vote and a discussion. We can think about who might kill you and who could be the traitor, of course. But there's one other option in the game, because maybe I draw those cards and I see that you are dead, but I'm a bad player. I'm an evil player. Now I could say, and I can lie, you are alive, don't worry, and I can put them back, and you have no clue that you are already dead. So because in Among Us, if I see a dead person and I'm also evil, I could ignore it. I don't need to push the red button. Here would say alarm. I found the dead one. I can ignore this situation. So of course I can use the self-report. If I see you had already 2 encounters, I will say, okay, I will check if you are still alive. I will come to you. I give you the dead card. I see your cards and say, oh, you are dead. And now people will think that I'm not the traitor, but the other one should be the traitor. Okay. So and this is the way where you can find traitors or dead people, but they will ghosts, so they help your team. But in the end, it's a pretty exciting phase because lots of people dying in our games and lots of action is there. Of course, in Among Us, it's already a situation that you can't go anywhere. You have tasks to do, but you must go to this spot, and this is also in the game. Every player has a secret route card that you can exactly see in which round you can use which room. So in this card, in round 1, 5 and 9, you can use the cafeteria and the purple room, but not other rooms. And the evil players, of course, they don't care about their tasks, so they can ignore their root card and they can say, oh, sorry, you need me at green, I can't go to green this round, maybe next round and stuff like that. So you can use this card for your advantage, of course. So yeah, this is the core of the game. This is just the university. This is a simple map. There are still 2 expansions out, and there's another one with a mine, with elevators, with revolving doors, and interactive map. And there's another one with 5 islands and boats. You can drive with boats from one to the other. You can switch the power from one island to another for your advantage. And there are lots of hidden roads in the game. Lots of them from the original, from Among Us. Maybe you are a sheriff and you can kill another player in your room if you think this one could be a bad one. Or maybe you are an evil ghost. If you found dead, you become an evil player, and no one knows, and stuff like that. So there are lots of hidden roads in the game, and you can upgrade the complexity of the game as much as you want. But it's a pretty easy game. You play this game in 45 minutes till 90 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask
yeah,
you.
So last week we played 4 games in one night without problems. So this is absolutely no problem. Yeah.
And I see here there's up to 8 people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So 4 to 8 is possible, and it doesn't depend on the player count how long the game takes, because it's all about trash talk in the end in the social deduction game. So if you have a good round, you can play 60 minutes with lots of discussion and law things. And
yeah, that's true. So is it also like a game for non-gamers, for lighter gamers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hobby gamers as well. Like, it's something that pretty much anybody would.
Yeah, so I played we played this game, of course, a lot. It's a prototype, and also my father is playing with us in the prototype sessions, and he doesn't play so much games. So this is no problem because it's pretty easy rules. Most of the time, you're playing 1 of the 10 rounds, and all players know what to do. At our booth, the players play nearly alone because it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Of course, it's just a prototype at the moment. We will go live on Kickstarter in January.
Oh, okay.
So this will be live. Yeah, in January the 9th we will be live, and yeah, we will see what will happen.
Everything like the expansions that you mentioned.
Yeah, but
people can get everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and here in Essen, people can find and play the game, like do a demo.
Yeah, exactly. We pitch the game, we show the game, you can play the game, of course. Exactly. We are in Hall 5 in D118. So, but the gaming table is always full, so it's pretty hard to enter into the table. But maybe you can have the choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have this question. What is this?
Oh, yeah.
Because
It's
we
a
didn't
good
talk
question.
about
Of course, this is the first thing. It's the first player marker. So every time it's another one. But of course, it's a knife, and it's important because in every vote in this game, there's one player with a knife, and this player counts for 2 in a vote. So if I know if we are the cultists, maybe we can start a vote because we know we have 3 voting points here in this moment.
It's
so
like,
the starting player has
better do what I say.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So this is important. Yeah.
Right. I love that. Okay. So then we have one more of your games that is also released.
Yes.
Here at Essen. But it's going to be later on today.
Exactly.
I think in half an hour or so.
Yeah, roundabout.
I think, Human Punishment, the beginning. So that's the next game we're going to present. Thank you so much, Stefan, for the presentation. You guys check out Among Cultists if you're here at Essen, and wait for the Kickstarter if you're not. And in general, it's going to be in January, like we said, with all the awesome stuff he showed us. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See you in a bit.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You can take this with you.
Yeah,
because
perfect.
if you can carry, because it's a bit heavy, guys, these boards. But we have Zonda here.
Thank you so much.
With the muscles.
I will be back again in some minutes,
we'll
okay?
see you in a bit. Thanks
Thanks
so
a
much,
lot.
Kevin.
Bye.
And our next game is also one of the games that's been talked about the most at Essen. It's Terracotta Army by Board&Dice. The game is being set up as far as I can see, because there's a lot of components that need to be set up on the board. And we're going to have Carolina from Board&Dice to talk about Terracotta Army. And right after that, we're going to have another one of their games. Tiletum. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. This is one of my first questions when they bring the game. I'm really curious to know about Terracotta Army because it has a very unique sort of box art, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks amazing. And it's one of the companies that are killing it in Essen. I think they're doing a great job. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing both of these. And we are close. We're close to getting there. After that, after Board&Dice, stay tuned because we're gonna have the other game from Godot Games, Human Punishment: The Beginning. Another social deduction game, if I'm correct. Then we're gonna have an upcoming game from Artipia Games. It's called Ceres, and it's about like astrophysicists and planets and stuff like that. I want to ask a lot of stuff about this game because it looks amazing. There's also Mindclash coming again to our stream with our other game, Astra. And we also have IELLO with King of Monster Island, the Animals of Baker Street that they're going to talk us about. And then we also have Horrible Guild coming up with 2 other games. And also we have a special surprise because we've added 2 more guests to our lineup today. And one of them is Osprey Games with Undaunted Stalingrad, which I'm a huge fan, and I can't wait to talk about this game. And also, we're gonna have Ice, the game Ice from This Way, which looks amazing. So the live stream will end around 7:30. So stay tuned. We have more games to show you guys.
Sure.
Hello, and we have Carolina, right?
That's right.
I am Eleni, and we are here to talk about
For now, about Terracotta
Army. Yes. This looks amazing. I want to show it to people.
Yeah, we've got a lot of minis in this game.
Yes.
Here we've got specialists. Can you just put it somewhere?
Yes, I can hold it here so people can see it as well.
So here we've got specialists, and we can buy them. But this is even, more impressive. I mean, we've got the organizer for all the warriors. So everything is tidy on the table. I mean, we don't have to, play with the warriors. Yeah, actually.
Also, I love your nails. They're amazing.
Okay.
Can I show this closer up to people?
Yeah. I just wanted to show you that the first one is usually, he's standing. Here we've got points that we get when we are building them, but also around we've got benefits and bonuses that we can get if we flip their weapon tokens.
Okay.
If we have them active, which is really cool.
All right. Do you have a name for this? Is it called something?
It's a warrior organizer for warrior organizer, exactly.
Cool.
Another cool thing here is the action wheel, because at the very start of at the end of the turn we should rotate it, and at the beginning of every player's turn we can pay 2 coins to rotate the inner circle or the middle circle. So you can modify it a bit. So yeah, sure. So during our turn, we take our worker, our craftsman, we put it somewhere, and we just trigger the action, starting with the inner circle. So we can build warrior figures and put them in the mausoleum. We can also grab some resources. We need wet clay to do that. So without clay, we cannot build.
So before we say that, can you say a little bit about the premise of the game, the theme? Like, what is the background?
Yeah.
What we're doing.
Okay, so we are talking about Terracotta army. So the army that was found with the emperor, right?
Okay.
Yes. So we are artisans. We are craftsmen. We are trying to create the most remarkable army for the emperor, right? To guard him after his death. So yeah, basically, our task is to build, to buy some master services, to buy specialists and to observe the wheel. Here we really don't have any random aspects. I mean, someone can rotate the ring, but you can plan a lot of it during playing this game, which is really nice. So during the game, we will try to get resources. We will build figures in the mausoleum. We will buy master services, specialists, and we can also we should look at the scoring tiles. Before the start of the game, we should randomly choose 5 tiles, place them here, and try to follow the conditions of scoring during the round, which means that every game is different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here we need to build in some part of the mausoleum. Here we are focused on a warrior. Here we are focusing on the line, this one.
Yes.
Here we've got warrior again and resources. So each game will look a bit different, right? Because we will be focusing on different stuff. After each round, we will score. Here we've got inspectors. They are observing our work, right? So this one looks in one direction. This one looks like this, right? And
We place this over there.
yeah, sure. Thank you. And they will give us points for domination. So if we are, if we have amazing number of warriors in the line, we will get points. But also for presence. So it's not like, oh, I will get something and you don't, but we will all get something if we are there. But the person who did that in a best way will get some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many players can play this? 2 to 4.
2 to
right?
4, yes. The gameplay lasts around 90, 120 minutes.
And how would you characterize the weight of the game? Is it towards the more complex games, or is it mid-weight? Is it?
I think it's mid, but for some people, thinking about the actions and choosing the action could be quite difficult. I mean, it
Right.
can take some time, as you are looking for the best place to put the figures in the mausoleum, so it's not that easy. But there are no so many details. I think that we can, try teaching this game. Maybe not casual
Yeah.
players, but mid-Euro.
A little more seasoned
Yeah.
players. Okay. We have some questions from chat. First of all, chat loves the look of the game. We think it looks amazing, and it really does. When does it release to the States?
Okay, we need to wait until it reaches our warehouse, so
Okay.
our distributor, and then it will go to the retailers. So
Right.
it all depends.
Right. And but people can buy it here in Essen,
Yes,
right?
yes, of course. We
Okay.
still have Terracotta Army, so you can come and you can grab something for you.
Yeah. And I think one of the designers, at least Adam Kapinski,
Yes,
is known, I think, for making more thematic games. Is that right?
yes, correct.
And-
We know him from Nemesis Origins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Would you say this has a lot of sort of like, does it integrate thematic stuff into the mechanisms, the game, or is it more like a Euro, more of a dry Euro?
I think that it's more of a Euro. I mean, yes, we are creating something. We are trying to localize the best place for our figures, and it's cool. It's
Yeah,
super
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
more for the Euro lovers.
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And it looks amazing. Okay. Thank you so much for the explanation. I guess if we are ready, we could go to the next game. Unless you have any information for maybe some expansion or something like for the future, or we don't know yet.
For now, we don't know
We don't
yet.
know yet.
We are just super happy that people love this game. From the very morning, yesterday morning and today's morning, Terracotta Army demo tables are occupied
They are
all the
full.
time. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see people who really enjoy playing this game, and to see how they are trying to, to get their best, to show their best after a short explanation, which is super cool.
Would you say this is like the game that people come most for at your booth, Board&Dice, or is it together with our next game we're going to see, or what's the game people ask you most about at the booth?
Actually, I was sitting in the Terracotta army table, and I had a lot of people around me, and I was teaching also Tiletum, and I had a lot of people around me. So it's really hard to say. I think that the interest is divided. I mean, it's not that one game is totally occupied and the other isn't, because people are interested in both of them. So
right. Okay. This looks fantastic. Thank you so much for the explanation.
Yeah, sure.
And if we can move on to Tiletum.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you take it? Thank you.
How is the pronunciation for this? Tiletum.
It's Tiletum.
Is it Latin?
I guess yes.
Okay.
Yes, but it's pretty funny because during our conversation on Discord, some people started asking like, "What's the
How should I
pronunciation?"
pronounce it?
Because
Yeah.
T games are usually quite difficult, and this one is quite easy.
Yeah.
But then I asked, "Are you sure that it's easy?" And they started, thinking, "Okay, how can we pronounce it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm with the girls from sales and I just hear how people pronounce it, they are not really sure if it's Tiletum or Tiletum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the UM at the end sort of puts your mind towards Latin. But again, you don't know if it's the I or the E or what exactly.
Yeah. T game.
It's a T game. And this is also released here at Essen.
Yes, and we are super excited as it's another game that expands our T line. And actually, we've got the author. Daniel was or is, I'm not sure right now, at our booth, and he was signing the games.
Okay.
So people were super excited that they can just grab some, sign, signature.
Wow. Is he still around? Because I want
He was.
I want my autograph as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should come by.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
We are
exciting.
almost ready.
And where can people find both games? As in, like, apart from Essen, is it going to retail as well, both of them?
Yes.
Or-
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what languages do you know? Is it English? What languages should people expect to get the games at?
I think English.
English, German, maybe French.
I don't
You
want
don't know
to
yet,
lie. I
okay.
know about the German
I also-
version,
yeah.
but I'm not sure about other languages. I think there are some other
Okay.
versions, and they will appear in a month maybe. But I'm not sure. What should I say? So I just don't want to lie.
To me it's also difficult to answer these questions for CG games because you never know like all the different languages,
Yes.
when and where and all that.
Okay.
But I guess there will be news later on about
Yes.
that.
Okay.
How do you find the fair so far?
The fair is quite amazing. Actually, it's my first time.
Okay.
It's my first time, so
Okay. First time
I just
in
got this job in June, and then
Oh wow.
yes, and then I just grabbed the information that I'm going to the fair also. So it's a kind of a dream come true,
Wow.
Start
okay.
working in a board games,
Yes.
company, and then come to the fair.
That's exciting.
It's super cool. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
amazing.
Actually, it's a very nice, adventure, I'd say.
Adventure. Isn't it a bit sort of like overwhelming that you see so many people, so
No.
many games?
I'm an extrovert. It's not a problem.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, at the end of the day, after all of those talkings, etc., you just need to rest a bit, and then
Yes,
with
and then the next day, do it all over
yes,
again.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not
I
a
think
problem.
people are getting very tired during Essen, but they all enjoy it. I
Yes.
mean, it's one of a...
Oh, we got Tiletum!
Wow.
It's huge.
Yes, and it's very beautiful and beige. Beige, I love those colors.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Could we have
The cover.
the base book, the books as well?
Okay. Hey. Yeah.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Yay! So, Tiletum. Now we know how to pronounce it. What should we know about the theme and the gameplay?
Okay, so in this game we travel back in time and we will try to spread our influence around the map. Also, we will take care of our player boards as there are so many aspects of this game that are super cool when it comes to getting actions. I mean, basically, you take a die. You take a die. Dice are assigned with resources. I mean, here we got stone, here we got the wool, food, gold, and iron. So when you take, for example, this die, you receive 3 stone tokens, and you've got 4 action points. Okay, so the more resources you get, the less action points you have during your round, during your turn.
But this is not, this changes, right? Like,
Yes, it rotates 3 times, so after each round, we should rotate it, so it changes a bit.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
we can move it a little bit. I don't know if people can see it.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Okay.
here. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, these are the different resources. And you
Resources
get
and actions at the same time.
Okay.
So here we got the merchant action. The merchant is here. It can travel. It can also grab some bonuses from the board, like those tiles. It can also build houses. Architect also travels around the board and builds pillars. So these tokens, right? So we can, when we have an architect in a place where we've got cathedrals, we can also spend our action point to build a pillar, right? It also enables us to pay for stones and build cathedrals. I mean, it's all connected, and it's a beautiful dance of your resources, of your actions. I really love the feeling of sometimes your turn just doesn't stop. You just keep going and keep going because you've got some tiles, you've got some bonuses. Then you can trigger something else. So it's super cool.
So it's like there is some engine building involved?
You know what? Not really, because you just grab something, like for example, a bonus. Did I have a bonus? Yes, it's a bonus. I just need enough space in my storehouse and I can use it immediately and go with the action. I mean, I discard it and I go with the action. I can also get resources like that. I need to take care of my board and people inside my houses because they unlock these tokens that we have here. But we can also, we have to take care of the king, for example, king's influence. Here we've got points for it, but if you ignore the king, he gets mad and he just takes your points. So you need to take care of it. You also need to fill the contracts. You also need people inside your houses. I mean, there's so many things that you can do in this game, and it feels so rewarding when you are doing something and then you get some points and then you see that you can do something else. It's super cool.
Right. And how many people can play this game, we said?
4. We got also solo.
1 to 4. Okay, there's
Yes.
a solo version. And would you say this is more like heavy game, light game?
I think it's medium. It's the lighter game from our T line.
Okay.
It's the lightest. I mean, yeah. But I think that Eurogamers will be very satisfied after the game.
Yeah.
Actually, when I play it and I finish, I have in my head, okay, I will try in a different way next time, and I try to do that again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean these two game designers are known for their Euro games, so
Totally.
I know it's like people know what to expect from them, and yeah, this
It's
looks
a very
amazing.
nice game. I really
Yeah.
recommend it. You
Yeah.
have to try it. If you are here at Essen Spiel, in Essen Spiel,
Yeah.
you have to come and try it.
Can you tell us more about the T-line? Like what other games are in the T-line apart from Terracotta Army?
Actually, Terracotta is not in the T line.
It's not?
No, it starts with a T.
Yeah.
I think that we just love the T.
Okay.
You know what? I would love to tell you something about that, but the pronunciation of all of those names.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah. So there are other games, of course. They are more advanced than this one.
Yeah.
And you can expect something coming next week on our fan page. Yeah, you have to follow our social media. You will be excited, I think.
More surprises.
Surprise.
Does it have to do with the T-line?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that people will love it.
Okay. Which page is that? Which page do people have to go to know about the surprises?
On our Facebook, Instagram, yes, or Twitter.
Okay. What else haven't we talked about in this game? Is there is there an aspect of the game you're most excited about?
I really like filling my boards with people because I know if it's visible, it's not. So I'll just put it right here. Is it? Now you can see
Yes,
that. Okay.
yes.
So here we have to put the characters, right, to unlock the house that
Right.
then you will use on the map. But each house requires other type of a person, I mean other character. So when we start here with the lady, we cannot use this lady later on. And in one house, we can only store the same type of characters,
Okay.
which is a puzzle. Also, we can pay for those things if we have crests in our warehouses, in our storehouse, to just, unlock some bonuses. So I pay, I get. I mean, and this one also unlocked other bonuses. It means that my merchant action, because this lady treats about it, receives +1 on the action wheel, which is super cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if you go with contracts, when you fill the contract, which means that you pay for it, you just put it here, and you release the pillar that was here. I mean, okay, I can pay. Now I have my pillar, and I receive some points.
What do you do with the pillar?
What do you do with the pillar? I go with the architects. Here, for example, where we have some space.
Yeah.
I spend 1 action point, and I put a pillar in this city.
All right. And is this worth points
Oh, okay.
again, or
Actually, it depends. Here we've got 4 places where the scoring will take place. Our merchant or our house needs to be placed there. I mean, we have to be there somehow.
So not all of the stuff you build here will be scored.
No. Each game changes as we randomly choose the places that will score during the game.
Right.
So now we've got Tiletum, then we got. I had today a French player, and he was trying to teach me how to pronounce those names because they are French, and I think that I remember this one, like Lyon. I hope that I do that well.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
So here we've got other places. We have to be there with our merchant, or we have to put the house there. But there aren't many spaces for it. I mean, here we got only 1, here we got 2. So it is possible that you won't be able to, build this house.
Right.
So you will have to be there with your merchant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We have a question from chat. Do you think we'll sell out of Tiletum before Sunday?
Actually, you know what? We thought that yesterday, but then we organized another boxes.
You got more to sell?
Yes, we had to do that.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was pretty exciting because everyone wanted Tiletum, and I mean, you rock, players rock. Yeah, it was super exciting, and now I think that we have enough. I think.
Right. Okay.
I hope. I hope that
You
we
might
have
still
enough.
sell out until Sunday. You never know. All right. I think we know pretty much, the basics of this game. I don't know if our next game is here. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can talk about. Oh, there's a solo mode from David Turci and Jeremy Avery. Yeah, so David Turci is known to do a lot of solos.
Yes, and he was at
And-
our booth also.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking with people, and actually, I really respect him as he creates the solo modes for various games.
Yes.
I mean, we can see his name like literally on
Yeah, on
big Euro
very
games,
big
right?
boxes,
Yeah, for
and-
solo modes.
And also, when you see his name on a game for a solo mode, you know it's going to be a good solo mode.
Exactly.
So yeah, congrats
So-
on having a very good solo mode, I suppose. And yeah, the art is beautiful as well, and very colorful.
Yeah, and Zbyszek, our artist, created the layout of the board. I really love those colors.
I wanted to ask you, so Tiletum is one of the cities,
Yes.
right? Why was it chosen over other cities?
You know what?
Is there something special?
It's a question which I can answer you in a while.
Okay,
Because
you could ask the designers. at
yeah,
the
if
booth.
he is at our booth, I'll just go and ask him. Yeah.
I suppose it should be something more than it starts with T. I think there must be some other story.
Story behind it.
that. And I
Yeah.
would love to know that.
Sure.
Because I realize it's a city because it's among the tiles here, right? Then this is always going to be scored in the
Yes,
game.
yes. It's the beginning of our adventure.
Yeah. And while the others are gonna be different every time.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Carolina, for your explanation. This looks amazing. I hope people get to play Tiletum and buy it if they're here, or then order it later. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying your first Essen.
Thank you.
And yeah, make sure to drink lots of water and coffee,
Yeah, coffee
And,
is very important.
and
Okay.
everything should be great.
Make
Yeah.
sure that you visit our booth and
Yes.
tried it. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us again which hall are you?
Hall number 2.
Hall 2. All
Yeah.
right. Check out Board&Dice. They got amazing stuff. And yeah, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Carolina.
Sure. Okay.
We can, yeah,
I think we can do that.
move on soon
Thank
to
you.
thank you to our next game, which is from Stefan. We had before Stefan Godot from Godot Games, and it's Human Punishment, the beginning. And yeah, I can see a lot more things on the board than before, than the previous game. So they're still setting up. And I think I actually played this game, but it wasn't the beginning. It was one other, I think, version of Human Punishment. So I'm quite curious to know if what's new with this game, or even if it's the same sort of in the same series of games. And like I said before, if you're new to this channel, make sure to stay until the end of the live stream. We have 2 more guests today telling
Different
us
way.
about. Yeah, we have a huge board. Ow. No.
Are you okay?
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi.
Stefan.
Always the big ones here with with the
Yay.
smallest maze. Can I give it to
So
you?
we can do it, yes.
Side?
So you guys know Stefan, right?
Hello.
He was here half an hour ago. He's from Godot Games.
Godot Games, perfect. Yes.
Where do you put the stress? Is it Godot or Godot?
All people say different, but Godot would be the right
Godot.
choice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is your second game you have here at Essen.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And this is it this released yet or
Yes,
not?
we are on Kickstarter last year. This is already produced and sent out to all backers, and now we're selling the game. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So people can can find the game here in Essen to play
Yes.
and to buy.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Okay. And human punishment, the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
So there is human punishment without the beginning, right? There is
Exactly.
Like
There was another one.
series.
It's a social deduction game, a small card game.
Yeah.
And this is the prequel of the other one.
Because
And-
I've played human punishment.
Oh, okay.
And I know a lot of people who are like crazy about it.
Okay.
It has a very specific, group of people that
Yeah,
sort of are
absolutely,
mad
yeah.
about it. And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the premise of the game?
Yeah.
The theme of it?
So, as I already said, it's a prequel, so you can start this game, it's called The Beginning, and after this game, there are lots of outcomes. You can play the other game, and you can play a one-night campaign with your own story. So maybe this is the beginning of the machine revolution, so maybe the machines fail, and then there is no machine revolution, so this is another outcome for the next game. So maybe there are no machines in the next social deduction game that you play.
Okay, but
So-
the universe is what exactly?
Yeah, it's from us, so it's not from a movie or something like that.
Okay,
It's all made
but
by us.
Like there's machines and there's humans.
Exactly. The machines try to conquer the world.
Right.
And we are humans, the last stand, and we try to avoid it, of course. But sometimes you can't trust your friends. Maybe they're working for the machines. There are also some other fractions because there are not two teams. There are more teams in the game. But you have no clue which team is at the table. And this is the exciting part because every team has different win conditions in the game.
Okay.
So I can show you the teams. So of course the majority are the human players. So maybe we have 3 humans at the table.
How many players can play this? first of
Good
all?
question. It's for 3 to 6 players.
3 to 6,
Yeah.
okay.
So
We have
there are
3
always
humans.
humans, and it's
Yeah.
always the majority. There's always a minimum of 1 machine in the game. But here comes the part. Maybe there are more players in the game. So maybe now another machine could be in the game. So there are 2 teams. This is possible. But of course, it's also possible that there's a Legion player in the game, or a Fallen player, or maybe both with 6 players.
Okay.
So there could be all teams in the game, but it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
And the trick here is, if I'm in a small team, if I'm a Legion player, I know that there's no Fallen team if I play with 5 players. I can trick other players because I can prepare things secretly so that people think, oh, Fallen should be in the game because their win conditions look pretty good. But I'm Legion player, I don't care about their win condition because they're not at the table. So I can
they don't know that.
yeah, so I can
there's-
bring them to another clues, but I will do my stuff and I can win the game secretly maybe. So
Right.
so there are lots of things which you can do to betray your friends and people. Yeah. So
Okay.
in the end, this is a deduction game, but not a social deduction game, more a deduction game, and it's a cooperative, maybe semi-cooperative,
Semi-cooperative.
and
okay.
it's a pick-up deliver game. So
Oh.
because you want to save your network from the machine virus, you have 3 sectors in this game, and I'm not the perfect setup here, but there would be chips, poker chips inside each network, and you try to find safety files for the network. So you will go to the network, to the sectors. You're looking for files. This one would be an evil one for the machines. And now I have own character, of course. Maybe this one or another one. They have all a different skill tree and yes. And
Okay.
Decoy also has its own dog, Kuro. So
Kuro.
Kuro is
Wow.
an own character. And so we have 6 characters, and they are all completely different with other skill trees, other abilities, disadvantages, and stuff like that. So they're all a little bit different. Maybe also Faker. Faker is a machine, so she's pretty evil because she will draw the first loyalty cards in the game, 2 of them. And if there's 1 red machine card, she must pick this one, and the other one will go back to the pile. So here it's more a chance that you are a machine because she is a machine in the end. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone will get a loyalty at the start of the game. So maybe you are a machine or maybe something different, of course. And now you have some goals which you achieve.
Does your loyalty change during the game? Because that was
There's an option,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. So there are 3 phases in the game. There's a tier 1 phase. Oh, I will steal them for you. So if the first chips are in the network, there's a human phase. So the human phase is pretty easy. You will take all the 3 chips. You will shuffle them secretly, and then you reveal them. wow, okay, that would be evil, because now you see what's inside the network, but you have no clue who bring which chip to the network.
Right.
So because the humans are the blue team, and they try to bring blue chips to the network, because the humans can only win if there are 9 chips in the network, and you need the majority of 2 columns. So if they're starting with 3 red jumps, this would be pretty evil, of course, but it's not normal, because most of the people are humans. They try to bring blue chips, of course, to the network, and maybe there are 2 chips and 1 red chip or something like that. Maybe it's like this. Maybe there's a foreign chip from the purple team inside the game. So now we have the human phase. Now we see what's inside the first phase, but we have no clue who brings which chip. With the next 3 chips, so if they are in the next 3 chips, they will not get revealed. So you know what you bring to your column, but other people must trust you about it, of course.
Right.
So after this one, you have the machine phase, and now is the part where all players close their eyes, humans raise their thumb, and the machines open their eyes. And if there's only one machine at the table, she can pick one thumb. And now this player becomes a machine, but opens their eyes and is now a machine from the starting position.
Oh,
Okay?
that's quite different. From
Absolutely, you can
the card game,
and it's
right?
evil because you can choose your own partner, right? You can choose the strongest character or maybe the weakest, because all players will not trust the strongest character because they will think that this one will get infected, you know? So you can choose another one because he lost his trust at the table. Maybe you could do something different stuff here.
That's cool.
Okay. Of course, there could also be Legion at the table. The green team. The green team is more evil because they can infect even more players, but they need to do some stuff about it. So maybe they bring security from 4 to 2. So there are events in the game which you can use secretly. So there are events that you will play secretly some cards. Maybe you need a -10. So players will try to send secretly -10 cards. But if people want to see this fail, they will bring the different, opposite, blue cards. So maybe this one, and now we will see we will not have -10 because he is +10. So it's not happening, right? And so people can secretly use the events to manipulate the game and the events and all the things to their favor. So.
Right.
Yeah, and after the machine phase, after the machine infected one, the machines close their eyes, thumbs goes down, and now we say if Legion is at the table, open your eyes, and now we already know if they can affect someone because we see if this spot is reached. We can say Legion infect one player, and this could also be one of the machines. So maybe you're tipping now the machine one that gets the machine from 10 seconds ago. This one opens their eyes and becomes now a Legion player, but the other machine doesn't know, of course. This person thinks there's a partner, but there is no partner anymore because Legion infected him. Legion don't care about human, machine. It doesn't care for them, but the machines can only infect human players, so they are a little bit weaker.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so we are trying to bring chips into the network. Humans can win if they have the 2 columns in the majority of their color. Machines can win if they have the majority of of red, of course, so it's their color, of course. But there are other options. Machines can also try to reduce the resources to 0, which is possible. This is also a machine win. And there are other options. You can also build your boss. So the humans and the machines have their own boss. So they have a different board. And all players are working for the good boss, because the good boss is the only chance to fight against the evil boss. Because if the evil boss is ready on his build, this will spawn at the board. I will put this away here. So, and now we have 5 rounds until this boss reaches the network and ends the game for the machines, of course. So we have 5 rounds if this one is built. But all players could build the good boss, of course, and if this is launched, we have 3 rounds, and this boss can stop him, and they can destroy each other before this one enters the network.
But wait, this boss is...
It's for the machines, for the red teams.
For the machines winning.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So all teams can prepare the good boss, because all teams are happy if this boss is going not into the network, because only the machines would win the game, of course. So the smaller teams will also help here to build this one here. But the problem is the good boss will only be controlled by the general of the team, so only one player. And if this one is a machine player, maybe this player will choose to not move the boss from one step to the other one. So you must find a way to bring this general position to another player. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of acrylic stuff in the game.
So the ghosts.
Yeah, so that's the name of the squad. So it's a team name. Yeah.
This is something that is visible to players.
Yes.
People see those.
Exactly. We are all
big
squads,
signs.
and someone is a leader, and the leader always chooses the general, and the general is the person which can control the boss. So it's pretty easy. But you know, if they are not a good team, you should work that you get another leader. And stuff like that. You can bring them to the jail, so it's an isolation cube here in the corner. There's not enough space, but you know. And yeah, so you're trying to build for your own goal, of course. That you can secretly betray others by telling them that there are other teams in the game and stuff like that. But it's a really hardcore version of Battlestar Galactica, you could say. So it was my inspiration for this game because
Sorry, which one?
Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Battlestar
Galactica.
Yeah, exactly. So I love this game. I played this 1,000 times or so,
Yeah.
and this was a big inspiration for this game. So this is a little bit more for experts, I would say. So there are a little bit some more rules, but there's lots of tension in the game. This is a night completely of betraying and backstabbing your friends, and
Right.
yeah, really intense game.
Yeah. It's all about who you can trust.
Absolutely.
And
This is our
figuring
kind of
out-
games.
Yeah. This looks like it. Yeah. So we have some questions from chat.
Mhm.
First of all, chat says that they love the cyberpunk style.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We also love this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks awesome. And then they're asking about Polish rules for these games.
Yeah, this is a good question.
For this game,
We-
because Polish Kickstarter backers are.
Yeah, we had some
asking
problems
for it.
with our rules in our Kickstarter because we had outsourced the rules because we can't speak Polish and we can't speak French, of course.
Yeah.
So we had partners here for all the languages, but we had some partners, they quit their job and they did not tell us. So we are still working for some files,
Okay.
so which is really unfortunate because of the rules are still missing. It's just for a download PDF, so it was not inside the game promised. But it's still a pain for us because we want to send the rules out, but we are waiting for the files still at the moment, which is
Yeah.
really sad. So we were really sorry about the situation here, but we can't speak the language. We would love to do this on our own, but I think someone could do it better if it's a native one.
Right.
So I think it's better to wait
I think it's better
until
to
we
wait
learn
for
the language.
good thing and,
Yeah.
Have
So
the polished Polish rules.
yeah,
I
exactly.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. And so people can find this game here at Essen. Where can they find you? Which hall?
Yeah, we're in Hall 5 in
Five?
D118.
Okay. And if people are not here, and I suppose people who are watching us are not currently at Essen, where can they find this beautiful game?
Oh, it's a good question. I think on BGG and on some other retailers also have the game in the store. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I guess you should find information on BGG about it and go check this beautiful game out. So you guys released the Human Punishment, right?
Mhm.
The card game.
Yeah,
So this is the beginning.
exactly.
So this is the prequel.
Exactly,
let's
yeah.
say. Is there any other games to this series?
No, it's not. It's just two of them at the
Two of
moment.
them, okay.
We're thinking about extra stuff, but we are not focused on only one IP. So you know, our other game is completely different with the Arkham or Lovecraft theme. So we are
Okay.
flexible here. So,
Right.
but maybe there will be something new. It could be possible.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, and you seem to have to like this cyberpunk sci-fi universe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is-
I'm absolutely love Blade Runner and all the good movies about it, and we tried to bring a little bit of the flair and the feeling of this. You know the colors and the characters, and they are all a little bit fishy. You can't trust anyone. It's raining every day. You know this feeling, And I think it works pretty well. So it has lots of table presence if everything is done. You need a little bit of space for this game, so you can see it's a little bit small here, but it's lots of fun at the table. The first game is a little bit, you could say, it's a big learning curve in the game. So the first game is a little bit longer than the second one, and the third one will be extremely shorter. So, but there's a big learning curve if you're playing with the same players 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You get way better games, and it will be more intense every game. So it's a little bit like Root or so. So the first game is always not the best, but maybe the third one is absolutely perfect.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I know my friends who love the card game, the Human Punishment, they have been playing it again and again and again until they get it, like the essence of it. But I love this aspect that, I mean, you can understand some things in a game, but you need to play it to sort of master it. And I think that's a plus in a game, that you become better at it and you explore new dimensions.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you play more. All right, thank you so much, Stefan.
Thank you.
For your explanation. Guys, go check it out. It's amazing. And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And
You too.
yeah, have a nice Essen.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye for now. And we are moving on to our next game, which is also, like, it has a big table presence, like this one.
Bye.
Hi, Stefan. And it's from Artipia Games. It's called Ceres. And, oh, there was a question from chat. I didn't ask. But yeah, the next game is here. Wow. This is huge.
Are you okay? Are we okay?
Yeah, I'm good. And I don't know if people can see the entirety of this. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. This is Dimitris
Hi.
from Artipia Games. And he brought us this beautiful copy of Ceres. So, yeah, I'm going to show it to people. Look at this. So, first of all, this is like really beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And this, do you know who's the artist, by the way?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. But yeah, this looks amazing. And can you tell us, first of all, what Ceres is? Like,
Ceres is a dwarf planet between Jupiter and Mars. It's near Vista in the asteroid belt.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest and it has a lot of ice, and that's a really important resource for our journey to the space, because we're going to need it because of its hydrogen,
Right.
the fuel for our rockets, of course.
Okay. So this is it a space exploration theme game?
Not exactly. I mean, in our game we have already colonized Mars, and so we go forth and we try to colonize Ceres and take advantage his resources. So it's not about exploration, but more about collecting resources.
Mining resources.
Exactly, from asteroids and asteroid belt,
Wow.
or from Ceres itself.
Okay. I think I read in BGG that there is an actual astrophysicist
Yes.
doing like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
behind the
background.
scene. Yeah.
Wow.
It's Sadiras Sadilas. You may
Okay.
know him from other games with Artipia, like Project Elite.
Project Elite.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
His day job
Wow.
it's to be an astrophysicist, and he really helped us to bring so many little details here and there.
Right.
For example, with the asteroid belt, its rotation, it's based on the.
yeah.
Okay,
We
let
can,
me help
yeah, I think people can see it now a little bit.
you. Okay.
Over here.
And
Okay.
during the game we are going to rotate the asteroid rings here, so by moving it one time each ring, okay, as you may see, you may observe that the outer ring is slower than the inner ring, because when you rotate the first one, the other two moves too.
Right.
So this is based in the third law of Kepler, which says that
Oh.
the asteroid farther from the sun move slower than the ones that are in the inner ring. Also, you may observe all these are real names of asteroids.
Right.
Yeah.
So I suppose people who don't know much about astrophysics, like myself,
Yeah.
will learn things in
Yes,
this game.
that's the neat part of the game, that there are so many, we try to be as realistic as we can with this project. You know, for example, there was a sketch for Mars where there were skyscrapers, and so they said, no, we're not going to build total buildings there.
Yeah.
We're going to be underground,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
You
More
know,
true.
so yeah. For example, we collect from solar panels the energy we need, or the satellites, as you may see, have solar panels because we're going to need the energy.
Okay. So, what do you do in the game?
So, as we said, at the start of each round, we are going to play 3 rounds, and at the start of each round, we are going to rotate the asteroid belt.
Okay. This one then. Rotates which direction?
To anti-clockwise. It's in this silver
like
here.
this. Okay.
The arrow there.
So yeah, we rotate that.
So, as we said, it's about asteroid mining. So we
Yeah.
take the role of asteroid corporations, mining corporations. Okay, we're the CEOs, as you may see. Can I put it
Yep. Let's move this.
a little bit
Yeah. Okay.
more?
Perfect.
Okay. Here is the board of the players. Okay. They're starting with some facilities. Starting facilities.
I don't know, Svonda, can people see it? Can people see this? This?
Yes.
No. Okay. Let's put it here.
Okay. So they are going to have a tracking for the tracking board for their resources. As you may see, we keep it thematic. As we said, ice is pretty precious resource to use for as fuel, or you know,
Oh, this is beautiful.
or yeah.
I like that.
As you may know, it's a prototype copy,
Yeah.
so a lot
Yeah,
of things.
this
For
is a
example, this
prototype.
glossy effect is going to go in the
Okay.
retail
Yeah, that's
version.
good to know. Yeah.
Okay, so we have advanced ceramics that even today we use them. For example, space rockets has a layer with that resource, and of course energy here.
Right.
So at the start of the game, as we said, you are going to rotate. You are going to take production because every facility is going to give you some resources. Again, thematically, they are going to be mines or factories, labs and offices. Of course, they are needed for our operations here or on Mars, as we depict here.
This is what?
It's AMAC Council. It's the council because, as I said, we have already colonized Mars, so that's our base.
Oh, okay.
And everything else it's taking part in Ceres itself.
Okay.
So after we do the production, we go into playing the game itself.
Yeah.
So even though you can see that it's a busy board, in its core it's pretty simple.
Okay.
You have 2 options when it's your turn. You can either take one of your workers from a common pool, because it's for everyone, it's first served, okay?
First come, first served
First served, yes.
basis, yeah.
And you're going to put it in one of your facilities to activate it. And it's going to give you some bonus resource, as you can see, or even some more powerful actions to do through your game. Or the second option you have is to take one of your leader pawns. Okay, everyone has 5 leader pawns. And you can place it in any spot you may seem to fit. So you can do an action. Okay?
So these are all available actions.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
this.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Of course, depending on the player count, we are going to block some action spots because it's about racing. It's about racing in series to take advantage as much resource you can take, or for asteroids to exploit.
Okay.
And as you can see, there's fewer spots here. So again, first comes, first served.
Okay.
If you can't do that, you are blocked.
Right.
Of course, there are tentative actions to take here and there, but you have to pay them later on.
Okay.
So, as we said, it's about mining corporation. So, of course, you have to expand your corporation by coming here in construction yard to build more constructions. And when you build one of your constructions nearby your play area, you have a choice. You're either placing nearby separately, or you can upgrade an already one that you have built before and put it beneath it. So as you can see, you can now take a workbook of yours from the pool here and put it upon the card to activate it both actions. But as you can see, the production value here is gone, so you are going to miss it later on in the game. So you want more effectively use the workers, or you want more resources.
Okay.
This is a dilemma they have to take the players during their game.
There's a trade-off.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's more options here for players. Of course, we had to use research programs. Okay, we are in the future. We have scientists, so you have to make our actions better. So as you can see here, every row comes with an action to the right, which means that every time you do that action, you're going to take the bonuses.
Yeah.
Okay, so you develop a research program, you put your mark in there, and that means that every time you want to launch a mining probe to the asteroid belt, okay, you are going to take one of these resources, and so on and so forth. So you can interface with you can interact with the council, of course. You have so many influence here, your influence cubes. They're going to use it to take some actions, or even ask them some favors, which are tokens that player are going to put it in front of them, and will give you for a round only some strong abilities to use. Okay?
Right. Yes.
Of course, we have the joking bay here. Okay, every round a new.
Yeah.
Okay, you can.
I'll hold it.
Okay. A new ship is going to come with new opportunities and, of course, new workers. Okay, because after you have spent all your workers here from living quarters, you can hire more workers to work for you, for your facilities.
Yeah.
And one neat aspect of the game is that because it's a common pool, when the round ends, every worker that was used is going to be back to the common pool. That means it's going to be larger for the players for the next round. But
Right.
if someone is unemployed, didn't find a job, it means that it's going to go away together with the ship.
So the common pool is something that any player can use? Or?
Exactly,
Oh.
exactly. So in your turn, you can either take a worker from here or use one of your leader points in the various
Okay.
spots here in the board.
Right. Okay.
And let's go to the neat part of the game, of
Yeah.
course, which is
Yeah, let's
the
move
asteroid
it a
belt.
bit, Yeah.
You know, it rotates.
Rotate.
So, when you want to launch one of your mining probes from launch complex, you have these two. Let's
move
say,
it a bit
okay,
further
yeah.
because Our depth in the camera is like
Okay.
shallow. Yay. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay. So you put some, you choose an asteroid from these two zones where you enter the asteroid belt, because in reality they are near in the Ceres, so that's why it's the outer ring, and the inner ring is farther from the Ceres. What that does mean that here you can go freely, put your asteroid, claim it, take the resource, and it's kept there for the rest of the game, provides you more resources as you mine this asteroid, and of course give you some precious victory points, which you need to, of course, win the game at the end of the round, of the third round. If you want to explore, you want to go to farther in the asteroid belt, you have to spend more eyes that's why it's our fuel here. You have to spend more eyes to go farther in the center of the game, and as you may see here, every dust line or solid line costs differently. So if you want to go near, okay, you have to pay 1 ice, or you want to go farther, you want to pay 3 ice or even 6 ice to go and claim that precious asteroid.
Okay. These tiles are
Yep.
different for each player, or different, like you have different options?
Right now, no. For the basic game, we want to keep it simple for the players, but as you may know, we're going to launch it on Kickstarter on November and the 8th of November. And of course, some stretch goals are going to unlock and put some more. We have a lot of ideas for this game. It's really thematic. We have a lot of ideas with the help of Ceres, of course. I would like to keep it secret for now, but to have neat ideas like mini comets that would go in the asteroid and change a little bit, you know, the game.
Okay. Alright, yeah. And you were saying about the rotation?
Yeah. The rotation. So I would say we have to pay more, and as you can see, the asteroids that are in the inner or in the middle ring are more valuable in resources and in victory points too. So again, it's a race because, as you can see, it's fewer spaces as you reach the center, and you have to race to be the first to claim them, or else someone else.
There's more points
Exactly.
towards the center.
Exactly. So it's a Euro game, as you may already notice. It's a score track. I would say it's a medium to heavy because it's a lot of options to take care about, and its core is pretty simple. That's what we have observed during our playtest, that players, as they play the game, the more they get in the flow of the game, and it gets quicker as they play the game.
How long is it approximately?
Approximately, it's about 30 minutes per player. Okay.
And how many players?
It's going to be 1 to 4 players.
Oh, there's
It's
going to
gonna
be a solo then?
Yes, and it's going to be a good solo. It's a neat AI player.
Okay.
It's going to be play as a player, but it's not going to be a player. So it will still block you in various action spaces or steal you some workers. And in the end of the game, you have to beat its score. So it's not about your score, or not only for your score where you get, but to pass the score of the AI too.
Okay, so it's like another player.
Actually, we are considering to put it as an automa, so you could play 2-player games together with an AI player to be a 3-player game.
Cool. Okay. And how? We said 1 to 4. You said the players, right?
Yep.
And people can find Ceres here at Essen to play a demo, right?
Yep. We have some copies.
Artipia games are in Hall 1. They're very close to CGE. But for people who are not at Essen, there will be a Kickstarter campaign.
Yep. On 8th of November, approximately 1 month.
Like in a month, yeah.
Okay, you can follow the page to remind you the date and also see if you're gonna like it. But I believe that if you're a space geek or
exactly. That was my question. What kind of players will like this game?
I think guys which really like sci-fi games and like the realism in it, like series like Expanse, it's gonna love it because they have this realism that you can learn from it. I mean, as a player, I really liked the fact that I learned different things, like the asteroid belt, I said, the ice that's going to be our fuel, the advanced ceramic that we need to manufacture droids, mining probes.
Yeah, I think it's, for people
and
like
of course
me,
a Euro fan.
Yeah, a Euro lover and stuff, But I would love to try it out because I don't know much about the subject. This looks like amazing. Like I'm gonna show the box again because it looks beautiful.
Yeah. The feedback we get, it's
yeah.
pretty good until now. Everybody that give it a chance in the first round, they're really okay. That
Yeah,
clicks.
this is
Okay,
something
I
new,
can
yeah.
make my engine work.
Yeah.
I can develop some research
Yeah.
to make me more efficient with my actions.
And I love to play it because, you know, I want to learn some actual things from a game.
Exactly.
From astrophysics.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, for people who are not here, Artipia's booth is like very cool. They have these big astronauts from it's 3D.
Yeah, I think they
made,
printed.
like really big ones, and it's all
It's a tall
like,
one.
It's like sort of like a planet space with like Ceres.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, even the costume we made, the astronaut was collaborate with Ceres to tell us if it's a real model. You know,
Right.
it's not about fancy things.
Yeah.
It's about the realism here in
Right.
Ceres.
Awesome. Okay, check it out, guys. Thank you so much, Dimitris, for the
Thank you
explanation.
very much for your time here.
Good luck with the campaign
Thank you very much.
and
Thank you
enjoy
very
the
much.
fair.
Thank you. I will try.
Okay, so we are moving on to the next game, which is from Mindclash Games. We had them yesterday as well. They were showing us Septima, and today we have Astra. Looks great. Wow, I love this. And hello. Yeah, you can come.
Hi, nice to see
How
you
are
again.
you? So, can you say to the people how you pronounce your name?
It's Fridesh,
Fridesh?
but if we are friends like we are, it's Fritzi.
Fritzi, and that's a lot more easy to say.
Very nice to meet you. My name is Patrick. Just
Ah.
okay.
I'm Eleni. Nice to meet you, Patrick.
Pleasure.
So,
A little bit more.
do we all fit? Okay, I think we do fit. So, we got here Astra. Just really gorgeous, like all of your games, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you have designed this game,
Yes.
right? Together.
Yes.
I have both the designers here.
What's your
I have both the designers
Yes.
here. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I can see that it's about constellations,
Exactly.
but I don't know much more. What could you tell us about this game?
So the game is about, as you said, discovering constellations, but the main idea is that players together observe and ultimately discover the constellations. However, it's not a cooperative game, it's completely competitive, and don't get fooled by these pens, it's either not a roll and write game. These are only for marking things like on your player board and on the constellation cards. So, as I said, it's a competitive game, but you try to discover the constellations together, because if you take part in a discovery, then all contributors get something.
Okay.
So if you are the person who completes a constellation, you are the one who marks the final star, then you get to be the discoverer, and you can get the card itself, which is good because you will have the chance to use the ability later throughout the rest of the game. But the other players who assisted you get to pick instant benefits. They are called boons, and they grant you resources and other very beneficial effects.
Right. So it's a competitive game.
Yes,
How many players can play?
2 to 5.
Do you know the best sort of player count?
Well, I like the 2-player version very much because it adds a neutral player, but it's not a real dummy player because you have certain control over it. So the script says how you can target a certain constellation for the dummy player, but once it has its target, then the active player has control over it, and the active player can tell how it's going to mark the stars on the constellations. So it's rather a tool than just a dummy player running around in the game.
Okay. Right. was the initial inspiration for the theme and for the mechanics?
Yeah, it started in 2020. It were the early in the COVID
Early
era.
pandemic
Yes,
times.
yes.
Lots of thoughts during those times.
Yeah. I returned home from a busy day, and I found myself just gazing upon the stars. And I was wondering. I played a lot of games. Why shouldn't I design one?
Okay.
Why should I design
That's a
one?
very
And
cool
yes,
thought.
and I realized there are stars. And after this day, I started to research about the myths, the mythology of the stars.
Right.
And I have found Ptolemy's Almagest.
You have found what?
Ptolemy's.
Ah, Ptolemy's,
Yes,
okay.
he is an ancient Greek Egyptian astronomer.
Yeah.
I have found his work called Almagest. So these 48 constellations, they are real constellations based on Ptolemy's work.
Right. Okay.
Yes, so this
So
is
it's a
inspiration.
little bit educative as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. People can learn about the game.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to tell us about the mechanics, or
Sure. So you might know our previous games.
Yeah.
If anyone else doesn't know our games, we have very heavy Euro
Yeah,
games,
exactly.
and
Yes.
we try to do something that lowers the entry level, but also keeps these classic Mindclash style depth of decisions.
Yeah.
And it seems that we achieved this. So it's much lighter. It has less rules. I can explain it in 10 minutes during the demos,
Yep.
and it plays in around an hour if you play it correctly and you also have some experience already. So I think we can proudly say that this is a Mindclash game, but it has a much lower entry level, so even families can play it, which is, I think, a great thing after what we've been doing. So I think what it makes unique is that the motivation system that encourages all the players to jump into one constellation and do it together. Because sometimes I just jump in because I need a certain instant benefit, and I try to encourage the other players, say, hey, jump in so we can get the boons sooner. And if I want a certain constellation because of its ability or because of the element, because we are collecting the elements as well for extra victory points. So this is that's why it's highly interactive, because if I want the card, then I can see that other players have already started one constellation, so it's easier for me to finish it.
right?
And maybe you can do that to just put 1 or 2 stars on one constellation, and therefore you try to encourage other people. So hey, let's finish it so I can get the instant benefit much sooner. And that's why we use these pens. And so whoever finishes the card, the constellation gets the card, and then the other players who assisted in descending majority order, they can get to pick a boon.
Okay.
Yes, I think the game is very easy to learn,
Yeah.
but really hard to master it really well. So after the first match, we are going to see its depth, the game's
Right.
depth.
Okay.
Yeah, usually the first game is about exploring the game itself, and the second and the third game will be, now I get it. Because the other tactical layer is the sphere board in the middle. So you can do 2 kinds of actions during the game. One is the observe action, when you spend the stardust, and therefore you can mark stars on it. And the other kind of action is the rest action, when you not just only fill up your pouch with stardust, but you can also get back the exhausted constellations. The exhausted constellations are the ones that have unavailable abilities because you already used them. So you can get your already used abilities back if you take a rest action and the active sphere matches with one of your exhausted constellations. So for example, if I have this is exhausted, and if I take a rest action now because this is a matching element, then I can get it back. It's really hard to time it, but if you can time it well, it gives you an edge in the game.
We have one question from Chad saying, we have two questions from chat.
Cool.
One asks about solo mode expansion.
We haven't
there
thought about it because
anything-
it's really this game builds really on the interaction of other players. So we haven't really thought about it. If there is a demand, then we can give it a thought, of course.
And then the other one, this is very untypical release for Mindclash because it's straight to retail, right?
Exactly, it hasn't
Okay.
been kickstarted. We try new things, and since it's really small and there is nothing really in the game that can be kickstarted, in the regular ways. So we decided, let's try new ways and let's try to do something straight to retail.
Right. So everybody can get the game.
Yes, it's available right now in Essen. We already had a pre-order campaign, and once Essen is done, then we start to fulfill the pre-ordered copies as well. And then in November it will be released.
So people that are not at Essen and they didn't pre-order, they can
They
get
have
it
the chance
after
to get it
November?
from November. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I have a question of my own. This has blue tones, this box, while all the other games have like purple. Is that right?
Yeah, we get that a lot. Those purples are not intentional.
Okay.
It just somehow happens.
Right. Okay.
So there was nothing-
I like this a lot. I'm just wondering if there is something behind that. There's a difference.
Nothing
of color.
intentional.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is a game for families.
Family
for-
Plus, yes.
Family Plus.
And
yeah.
it also, we try to do it like for our audience, the Mindclash game fan base, to like it. So this is not that heavy, but I think, and I really hope, and based on the feedbacks we already have, they like it. And this is much lighter. They can even introduce their hobby to new people. So hey,
Yeah.
if you like this, then come over and play some Anachrony
There's
next
a
time.
lot more heavier games from Mindclash to
So
check
I think
out,
this is a great gateway game.
I mean, I haven't played it, but it looks amazing. And I love that you guys do very well, like the heavy games. And I like that you're branching out to lighter games and to, as well, like Septima is going to be a little bit on the lighter side as well, right?
A little bit.
Not as much as Astra.
But
I
it,
guess,
but its audience is targeted
Yeah.
more like the regular audience.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for the
Thank you for-
presentation. This looks amazing. You guys check it out when it goes to retail. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying the show, guys.
Thank you. You too.
And I'll see you guys later.
Yes. Hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, and we are going to have a small break just to grab some water and get the next guest ready. So 2-3 minutes and we'll be back. everybody, we are back with Vincent from IELLO, and we're ready to talk about our next game,
Yep.
which is what is
King
it?
of Monster Island.
King of Monster Island. This gives me a lot of King of Tokyo vibes.
Of course it does. So for those who are not familiar with King of Tokyo, it's a game by Richard Garfield, where you are smashing each other, you are big monsters, and you are smashing each other. It's competitive, the King of Tokyo game.
Right.
King of Monster Island is the new opus for 2022, where this time you are all together smashing the boss and Monster Island.
So it's cooperative.
Yeah, this one is cooperative.
Right.
At the base, Monster Island was the place where the monsters were chilling, taking holidays, this kind of stuff. But from the volcano, Lava Lord has risen. Here's Lava Lord, hello. Lava Lord has risen, and now minions are spawning, and they are trying to build a portal that will flood minions all over the place and destroy Earth. Some monsters have decided to stop smashing each other, and they will start to smash the same enemy, which is the boss of Monster Island. So, like in King of Tokyo, you will still roll 6 dice, you will still deal smashes, but this time all together. And of course there is this great volcano, because this is Monster Island, you know?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, take it from the
I
base,
wanted
no
to-
problem.
Yeah, I wanted to pick it up and show it like this.
Like from the top?
Is it possible? Yeah.
Like that?
So people see that it's like a
Do you
big,
see me?
big thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is the volcano from Monster Island, because indeed you will play your turn as usual, but the boss will be automated. How do we do? Between each of the players' turn, the boss will take his. We drop the dice in the volcano, depending on where they land, the boss will move accordingly. Of course these are supposed to be standees, but for the purpose of the video, they will be flat today. He moves there and he will do many things. First of all, he will activate his friendly minions. These minions will first of all smash your monsters, which is a losing condition. If you are dead, well, you cannot save Earth anymore. The other thing they can do, they can build these pylons, which are also a losing condition. And this is what they will do. Once he activates all the minions, he will activate his dice. His dice, what they will do? First of all, they will spawn even more minions that will come onto the board. Then they will build other pylons, which are still losing conditions. And finally, he will gain fame. Each boss in King of Monster Island comes with its sheet. There are 3 bosses, they all have their personal sheet. The more fame they have, the more powerful they get, and the harder it gets to bring them down. So he will activate his dice, gain fame, and now that he has played his turn, monsters can play theirs. So you will take these 6 dice, and like in Yahtzee style, you roll them once, you can reroll once, and reroll twice, and then you apply the effect of your dice. In King of Monster Island, like in the base game, you can still deal smashes to minions or to the boss. Like in the base game of King of Tokyo, you will be able to gain energy cubes. These little energy cubes will allow you to bring in some power cards that will give your monsters special abilities. The ability to teleport from one place to another, or the ability to take the minions and throw them on the other ones. This kind of stuff. So this is for the energy, will allow you to power up your monster. You of course have a feat, because you will need to move around. The feat can also be used to smash some minions, and also to kick other monsters to move faster. If a monster is on your zone, you can move him out of the zone with a kick. The wrenches you play will allow you to build some support boats that will help you throughout the game, like extra dice, fictional extra die. You can of course heal yourself or heal your fellow monsters if they are on the same zone. And finally, and the most funny part of King of Monster Island, is the fame. When you gain fame, you will roll this little wheel and increase in fame from 0 to 20.
And then
Yeah, you will get these allies.
you get like where you kind of
Exactly.
go up.
On the first fame you receive, you will choose one of the 6 allies that are available on the game, and the more fame you gain, the more powerful you get. And so here comes the asymmetry. One will be the healer, one will be the support, one will be the damage dealer, this kind of stuff. And so you play a boss turn, you play your turn, and we move to another boss turn, etc., etc. To bring on some more cooperation, you will also be able to take your dice, leave them on the board, And so another player on another turn can come by and take these dice. So that is also an aspect of King of Monster Island that we like, is that you have this asymmetry, but also you are preparing others to make their big turn. You are really cooperating in that sense, like, I have smashes, but I am far away from the boss, so I leave them here. Maybe someone will pass by, pick them, and destroy the monster once and for all on one big turn.
How many rounds are there?
All the rounds are until you win or you lose.
Okay.
So how to lose in that game?
Yeah.
If you need to make a minion spawn, but there is no more minions in the bag, you lose the game. You have been flooded by minions. If the boss has built 3 of these pylons on the island, this is the end of the game too. The portal is active, now minions are floating through Earth.
Wow, okay.
And finally, if one of you gets down, meaning reaching 0 health, you have 1 turn to go and help him heal back. If you don't, at the start of his turn, if he's still at 0 life, that's losing.
Oh.
Before any of this happen, you need to bring the boss's life to 0. There are 3 bosses in the game, as I said, so this is Crystal Dragon, we have Lethal Door and Lava Lord, and each of them comes with 2 difficulty levels. So in a way, there are 6 setups in total. And that's it. And if that's too easy for you, you will also find a campaign mode where you need to defeat Crystal Dragon, then Little Door, then Lava Lord, all that in one go, which no one has done yet. So if you do that, don't hesitate to call us. That would be really interesting to make an interview.
Yeah, we want to know who you are. Okay, so this is first of all a Richard Garfield game.
Yeah, it
you
is.
didn't mention that, which is awesome. And how many players can play this game?
So you can play from 1 to 5. In terms of setup, indeed when you have 5, it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
Because the boss is taking the same speed, playing each turn, gaining fame, being more and more strong. While if you have 5 players, you can power up your monster once, then you have to wait for 4 other monsters to play, then you fame. So you are gaining fame slower, while the boss is gaining fame the same rate. So 5 player might be a bit more challenging, but I know that a lot of King of players love challenge, so that could be a thing for you. Try to defeat Lava Lord, max difficulty at 5 players. Once again, not hesitate to tell us what you thought about the game. That will be a great moment for sure.
And how long does it take? It says
45 to 60 minutes. We pretty much advise to always start with the first boss. Understand the mechanics. How does it go? How does the fame work? Do I need to go for fame? Do I need to go for energy and cards? All that you need to think it through. So start with the first boss. It is pretty easy. When you start to the second boss, first level, second level, you will understand that the difficulty will increase. So do it step by step so you respect the 45 to 60 minutes length play. I would say that Lava Lord last level is definitely more than an hour. That's for sure, except if you are really, really good at the game, which I have not been so far, but maybe I will learn a little bit more about the game.
So, who is this game for? Like, is it for the same crowd that likes King of Tokyo? Is it for more advanced players than this? How would you, who should buy this game?
First of all, King of Tokyo fans, you will like it. We try to keep, Richard Garfield is in the command here. Don't worry, he's thinking about you. And he tried to keep the same flow that King of Tokyo. The smashes are still really, you are feeling great to deal smashes, which is the core of King of Tokyo. You are having much more cards than usual because this time energy is exponential, meaning that the more energy dice you have, you will get much more energy than usual. So you will have a lot of cards, so you will power up your monster, feel great about it. So King of Tokyo lovers, you will like that. Some people thought that King of Tokyo, they had a little issue about player elimination, which is in King of Tokyo. Here, you have no player elimination. So for those who were sad about King of Tokyo for that exact reason, come back to King of Monster Island. There is no player elimination, everybody is playing together. Some say that for now, they will introduce the King of Line by King of Monster Island. This is the case, for example, for Man vs. Meeple, that did some talk about it. And he told me that, yeah, maybe I will bring in some King of Monster Island before King of Tokyo next time to introduce the mechanism of the dice. Depends on what kind of player. I mean, if you are very competitive, of course, King of Tokyo is still the great game that it has always been. King of Monster Island will be more for chill game to introduce this Yahtzee mechanism, play with dice, cooperate together. I think newcomers to the line can come in, old players can come in too. It should be alright. It's the same level of difficulty, I would say. It keeps on being a family games. Once again, we want to create games for everyone, and I think King of Monster Island is a game for everyone too.
I just wanted to show these illustrations because I love them, especially
The ninjas.
not
the
the
ninjas are great.
This one I like the most.
8 monsters?
The 8 monsters. I don't know why, but they're so cool.
Everybody wants to play the ninjas all the time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there is a gimmick at being ninja.
Yeah, it sounds cooler being a ninja than an ape monster.
Yeah, definitely.
But look at them.
Yeah, they are
Look at
they are
this
looking
guy.
great.
Okay, I love the illustrations. They're super colorful.
Yeah, and it feels great. A lot of gimmick, the dice, the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Taking
the
minions from
volcano.
thing,
Yeah.
running the cards. This time in the deck of cards, you will find the power cards as usual in King of Tokyo. But you will also find some events that will spice up the game.
Oh,
Some
okay.
can be negative events, some can be positive. So as soon as you reveal an event, you resolve it. So once again, there will be things happening around the table.
Right.
There are 5 monsters in total, new monsters to discover. The monsters are totally compatible with all of the King of Game, because as you can notice, the life wheel is the exact same than King of Tokyo. The star wheel is the exact same. Just in King of Tokyo, this is your victory points, and King of Monster Island, these are your fame. But you can cross over between the 2 games. You have now 5 new monsters to play also with all your other King of Games. And well, this is King of Monster Island.
Chat comments
Yeah.
say we appreciate the lack of player elimination.
Yeah.
They like that.
That's what some people told us, that for once my kid will not get frustrated because he has been pushing into Tokyo and being a bit ballsy staying here.
Yeah.
And now there is no more of this
Yeah.
problem. He will not get eliminated. You can play all together, and still there is this feeling of I am becoming a great monster. You know, in some cooperative you're like, yeah, but I did that for everyone else, so
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. Here, like, you can power up your monster, get your ally, increase your capabilities. That's all good. You have your characters to improve,
Yeah,
and
they
of
develop.
course playing as team.
That's pretty cool to know. That's pretty cool to know. Where can people find this game?
So it's on our booth right now. It's been selling, so it's hall 3 at the yellow booth. You will find a shop where you can find King of Monster Islands. Otherwise, it should be releasing in November, both in US and Europe for English and French version now. Localized version will come in 2023 mostly. First semester for the most part. All our partners on King of Tokyo that has been always been with us on the King of Tokyo adventures, I would say 99% of them will follow up with King of Monster Island. So we are really happy that everybody's enjoying it, wants to join them, travel with us. So we are pretty happy about that. It's a good continuation for the line, and we are happy that this is still living and Richard Garfield is behind us as always.
Yeah, it feels very fresh. I don't know. It's super colorful, bombastic. Check it out, guys. It looks amazing. And we can move on to the next game of IELLO. So Vincent stays here, and we're bringing in the next
The Animals of Baker Street.
Yay! Okay.
Thank you very much. Here we go.
And the box, yes. Awesome.
So, here we go.
So, yeah.
So, the Animals of Baker Street is an investigation game for family. Okay? So you will be playing a little crew of animals. I don't know if we see the 3D here. We will be playing as a little crew of animals leading investigations in Baker Street.
Oh, I love this. I don't know if people can see it. There's like multiple animals together moving on the board.
So you will find Cherrywood the mice, Clay the frog, Briar the bird, and Calabash the tarantula.
Oh.
And they will be under the order of Toby the dog of Sherlock Holmes, of course. But Toby is now a bit too old
I don't know
to
Toby
lead.
the dog, I'm sorry. Who is
Toby the dog is the hound of Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Toby the dog of Sherlock Holmes, is now too old to lead investigation with Sherlock. You know, he's an old dog. He wants to retire a little bit.
Right.
But he found this crew of little animals that are wishing to lead investigation for him. So in the Animals of Baker Street, you will find 6 investigations. Each time, you will find a new case that will be presented to you. You can read it and Toby is telling you what you will be doing during that case, what you are searching. So here, the case of the dearest deer stalker.
Okay.
And so you have the solutions at the end, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So this is the tutorial case that we have, where the case of the dearest deer stalker. So you will read about the story, and the thing about the storytelling is that it has been written by both Clémentine Beauvais, which is a youth author, so writing novels for kids and teenagers, so really into this, and Dave Neal, who is working on a lot of Sherlock Holmes games. So in a way we have this Sherlock Holmes specialist working with this family and kid author and making the Animals of Baker Street, which is really appreciated in the storyline, the way it's written, very accessible. Meanwhile, it's not always just a mice that has lost its glasses. Still, there is some maturity growing into the cases. Still, there will be some real things happening, like real crime, not that cute all the time.
Yeah, okay.
But now that you have read the case, you can start your investigation. Maybe you will say, we need to go to the grocery first. If you need to go to the grocery, you will lose 1 hour, and you have a limited amount of time.
Oh, these are the...
the counter to the end game.
Yeah.
So each hour you lose 1 clock, and then you can move to the grocery. Once you go to the grocery, you can take the grocery cart, and you have something to read. There will be interactions, some characters talking to you, etc., etc. And you will be able to use your characters. Indeed, they all have a capability, special abilities. Cherry with the mice is really good at looking into things. She has big glasses, she can sneak under the cupboard, etc., so she can find some stuff. Clay the frog is the ambassador of the team. He's a really good speaker. He's good to make confidence with people. Everybody trusts him, which is the opposite of Calabash the tarantula. Calabash is the strong arms, not good at all when it comes to diplomacy or another kind of diplomacy.
Okay.
And Briar the bird, first of all, he can fly, which is always an advantage, I have to say, and he's really agile.
Okay.
Well, you read the story, and you might say, maybe we need to send Cherrywood there, because we need to sneak under the cupboard, we saw something. You send Cherrywood here, and you take this little matching system.
Oh.
And here you go, you have found the clue number 2, because it was the good decision to send Cherrywood there. So you go into the clue pile, and you find now you have a soft pillow. This soft pillow might be useful for later in the investigations.
Right.
So later, on the spot, you will be able to use the soft pillow to try to solve an unsolvable problem.
Okay.
So you will definitely need to go step by step, find the right places, and move forward. Once again, in terms of narration, inside these little clues, what is feeling good is that you can go meet a character that will tell you, I don't know what you are talking about. Then you come back with another elements, and you have a new version of the facts. Now that you have the good elements to solve the mystery, if you confront someone with a new evidence, we say, okay, now I will talk. And now you have a new version of the facts, and you can use this version to manipulate another person's opinion and try to move forward in the investigation. There are 6 cases into the game. This is the tutorial. And each case will move forward in length, a bit more difficulty, and you will meet new characters. On the other side of the board, you will find a nighttime version. This board can turn into the night. Can I see that? Well, yeah, so there is a nighttime version behind. There is a fox to meet. So a whole set of new characters that you will be able to find for case number 4, 5, and 6. You will be able to find another part of the board, etc., etc. So yeah, this is the Animals of Baker Street, good for everyone. We played it between adults, there is no problem at all.
Okay, so
it's
not a kid's game.
No, it's not a kid's game. No, it's not necessarily a kid's game. The point is for the family to play, so it's definitely more familial. I mean, if you are planned for a terraforming Mars night, the Animals of Baker Street is not really in the mood, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
But if you are for the entire family, if you are into chiller game to play all together. Animals of Baker Street is made for you. There will be a good storyline. Make one scenario, leave it there. Next week, let's go for the second scenario. You can count between 25 minutes for the demo scenario, then it moves to 40-45 minutes within the 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 and 6 might go to 1 hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
But that's only for the 2 last scenarios.
And it's from 1 to 4?
Yeah, 1 to 4 you can play solo. It's an investigation game after all.
Yeah.
Well,
And
4 we say because each player plays as a character. Each player plays as a character, but in a way, if you want to be 6, no problem at all. It's just that no one is, you're just sharing the characters.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you are still reading small cards. I mean, reading out loud is good, but there are cards with a lot of text, so it's good to be nearby, listen, and it's a calm night.
Yeah,
day.
it's from 10 years old or and older.
Yeah,
Can someone younger though play if other people read to him?
Yeah, of
To
course.
them?
The thing, because we say it can be played solo, we cannot say a 7 years old guy can play it solo.
Yeah, okay.
So because of the solo part, it's a 10 plus.
Right.
Of course, if you have a children 6 or 7 and you have parents that can read and reread the cards if need be and lead the investigation for them, of course it will be no problem. No illustration is about anything bad or anything, okay? Everything is still is cute and is meant for the family.
Super cute, yeah.
Yeah.
But still there is some sort of real investigation stuff. It's not
So-
all about like kiddie world.
Yeah. There is some real investigation. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah,
Okay.
there's some real stuff happening. Also, one thing is that there are some Easter eggs that you can find sometimes.
Oh.
I mean, at the end of the case, you read the conclusion and say, okay, you solved what happened. Did you find Toby's bone, the bone of the dog? I'm like, no, I did not. So either you can take the scenario again and try to find it. If you don't want to, just go check the card and see what did I miss. So there is a bit of replayability. That's up to you. How hardcore do you want to find all the Easter eggs?
Yeah.
That's up to you.
But there are. If you
There
wanna
are
find
some
them,
Easter eggs
there
that you
are
won't
some.
find. Yeah.
We have a question from
Yeah.
Tina. They're saying that it's super cute, and also there's a question. I should explain it probably. It says, can you put the rat and the cat in some expansion for me and Ray? So Ray is our Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
She's not here at the moment, but she likes rats. I like cats, and can you put like these two animals in an expansion just for us?
There is a cat. There is the
There
cat
is a
room,
cat.
by the way.
Okay.
And there are rats. So here are moles.
Yeah.
In the first scenarios, the rat place is off. But from the first scenario, you will be able to meet some rats. They are not the kindest of characters in the Animals of Baker Street.
Okay.
They are kind of the villains.
I think everywhere rats are
Yeah.
sort of the villains.
But they end up cooperating a little bit. It's just that they are living under the streets, so they feel frustrated about being excluded from this world. Like, why are we under the street while you are walking on the street? What's the problem with us? So, in a way, there is something to think behind it, which is quite cool. And this is why giving the design of such games to actual authors is great. They have something to say. There is something to say behind the scenario. So this little racism questioning about why the rats are under the floor is good. It's not too obvious, but when you are an adult playing with a kid, sometimes you're like, interesting topic.
Okay.
And there is a cat in the cat room that we can find here. I'm pretty sure. No, why is it not here? Yeah, there is the cat room.
Oh.
So you will meet the cat, and he will talk to you.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
the thing, yeah.
But I wanted to say that this one, Cherrywood,
Mhm.
looks like is it a mouse?
Yeah, it's a mice. Yeah.
Yeah, but is that as cute as a cat? So I think this would be our
A new
sort
cat.
of
Okay, let's call it a
solution.
cat.
I love this one. I don't know.
Yeah, but you will find a lot of characters, a lot of animals, and their identity and personality will keep on being logical from one scenario to another. I mean, you have met the rabbit once, you meet him 2 scenarios afterwards, he will still talk to you about, you remember last time when we discussed. So there is a continuation, there is a storyline behind it, which we obviously like when a game is a campaign. which we think is important. And once again, that's the work of the wonderful designers that we have worked with.
Wow, okay. This looks great.
Yeah.
Where can people find it?
At our booth.
Yeah.
So it's being sold right now. In English, it will be released in October, November. So same than the previous game that we introduced. We were talking about King of Monster Island earlier. So October and November, you will be able to find it in English in your stores, and it's available on our booth. Hall 3, you will find the yellow booth. If you want to play test it, it's available. If you want to purchase it, it's available. If you want to just say hi, we are available for that. If you want to discuss about it, the project manager that has worked on it will be really welcome to welcome your questions about the games. And as always, also write us if you're interested about anything. We're always really happy to participate with these kind of things. So once again, thanks a lot for CGE to welcoming us
Thank you
here.
guys for
And
coming
also,
here.
for the public, don't hesitate to come to us. We are really grateful.
This is really awesome. I love both of these games. Which games are more popular at the moment at your booth? Like which yellow
these
games
two.
are?
These two.
Wow.
Of course, King of Monster Island has been weighted by the fans of King of Tokyo, and trust me, there are some really great fans. We love you guys. Even your criticism are really greatly appreciated. People collectioning monsters from all over the world, this kind of stuff. So they are following the line. They wanted to see it. I hope you will enjoy it as much as we did. And same goes with the Animals of Baker Street. Maybe Saturday, Sunday will be more familial, and we will be able to play a little bit more of Animals of Baker Street with kids. Come to our booth, come play, and tell us what you think about the game. That will be really great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very
Vincent.
welcome. Thank you for welcoming us.
It's a pleasure
Yeah,
to,
thank you.
to meet you in person.
Bye bye.
And yeah, thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
Enjoy the fair.
I will. Bye bye, guys. See ya.
And we are continuing with our next guest from Horrible Guild. It's Alessandro Bra. And we're going to talk about Evergreen. That's the first game. We're going to talk about them. They brought another game we're going to see after. Hi,
Hello.
Alessandro.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Good.
Well, oh, thank you.
I didn't recognize you had shaved your hair.
Yeah,
a
I
little
shaved my
bit.
hair, yes.
How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Good.
Good.
Good. So we have brought Alessandro from Horrible Guild.
Hello.
And he'll be talking to us about Evergreen. This
Yes.
is one of the hottest games on the Essen list. I
Yes,
think.
apparently, yes.
Apparently.
We are very happy about that, but
It's
yes.
really beautiful. If people can see. This is a German copy.
Yes, but I just
Oh,
had this one
okay.
at hand, but the game is language independent completely,
okay.
so there's no problem in showing
Okay.
this version instead of the English
That's
one.
cool. All right. So what is Evergreen?
Evergreen is a game by Jan Mahak, which is the same designer as Photosynthesis by Blue Orange, a game from a few years ago.
Okay.
And I mention this because this game shares some of the design ideas from that game. Specifically, there is the idea of the sun casting lights on the planet and then going around the board during the game with you planting trees and making them grow, and they collect light, but they also cast a shadow that may overshadow other trees, preventing them from taking light, so you gain less points from those. So you have to pay attention in how you plant and make your plants grow so that they don't interfere with each other too much.
Okay.
But apart from that, the two games are very different, starting from the fact that differently from Photosynthesis, in Evergreen, each player has his own board, so you're not competing for space in a very crowded board, but you're building your own thing on
This
your
is the player
planet.
board.
This is one of the
One
four
of the
player
player
blocks.
boards. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I just put one because there's not much space.
Yeah.
So, also different is the way in which you determine which actions you are going to perform each round, because I set up here at the top, at the beginning of each game, of each round, you create a drafting pool that contains one more card than there are players. So this would be a setup for 3 players. So starting from the first player, which is the player with this token, you pick one card, and the color of the card you pick determines the area of the planet where you are going to be able to spend your action.
Okay.
There are 4 kinds of actions, but each one is actually just a different combination of 2 effects, which are planting a sprout, a young plant, or you can make a plant grow into its next step of evolution. So a sprout can become a small tree, and a small tree can become a big tree.
Nice.
The first action, for example, is planting 3 sprouts. The second action is making 2 plants grow to the next level. The third action is making 1 and 1 of these 2. With the fourth, you ignore the color of the card and you do just one thing, but you can do it where you
Anywhere.
want. Exactly. Your card also gives you a special power to use. The powers are these ones here at the top of each board. And when you activate a power, you always upgrade it first, so you move this marker to the next level, and then you perform that effect at that level. Powers get stronger and stronger the more you use them, and they can be simple things like planting more sprouts, making sprouts grow into small trees, making small trees go into big trees, gaining points straight up, or special things like the one in this card that I have too, which are like lakes. If you place a lake, if you place a lake, you can choose up to 2 spaces adjacent to it and make those plants grow for free.
Can I show this closer up, because I think it's gorgeous.
Thank
If
you.
people can see like more of the illustrations and like
The
how
artist,
nicely it fits in there.
yeah, the 2-layer board is useful for keeping the trees in their place.
Yeah.
And the artworks are from a Japanese artist called Weni Zhang, but she's actually of Chinese descent. So
Okay.
there's both of us, both
yeah,
cultures in
both
there.
worlds.
Yes. And the final power is bushes that you can use to connect groups of trees together, which is one of the ways in which you make points. So, a round of the game works as I just described it. So you create a drafting pool. Each player takes 1 card. 1 card is always left, and it is moved to a special place of the table, which is called the fertility zone. I explain what that means in a moment. Then, after everybody has performed the action and the power, you move to the next round and you do this all again. Then, after a certain number of rounds, a season will end. There are 4 seasons in the game, and each one is made by a decreasing number of rounds. So, your powers get upgraded, so you become more powerful in a way, but also you get less time to use it. So, there's this balance where you keep getting stronger, but you have less and less time to keep improving your score. Okay? The 2-way, at the end of each season, though, you make points during the game, and there are 2 kinds of points. One is the biggest group of connected trees, which is called the forest. You gain as many points as many spaces that forest occupies.
Okay.
So in this case, it will be just 3, but of course you will have much bigger than those. Then the other way, you make points at the end of each season, is similar to photosynthesis again, which is from the light of the sun. So the sun in this position casts light in this direction, and the trees on your board, if they can collect light, they net you points. So for example, in this situation, this tree gets light. It's a small tree, so 1 point. This tree is in the shadow of this tree, but it is taller, so it still gets point, and since it is a big tree, it gets 2 points instead of 1. But it also casts a longer shadow. So this tree is actually in the shadow of this tree, and it doesn't get any points.
Yeah.
These trees are both without any interference, so they get points. But then, at the end of the season, the sun moves to the next side of the board. So now, this tree is getting light again, but this is not getting light anymore. So maybe to prevent that, during the following season, you make this tree grow into a bigger one, so that now it still gets light.
Yeah.
Dur-
But then, how many seasons are there? 4?
4, so
Okay.
it's one time from each direction.
Right. Okay. Because I thought if the sun was there, then it would. If you had another tree here,
Yeah.
it would be an issue. But if you think about where you're going to plant next,
Exactly.
then it becomes
Yes.
more strategical. And
It's inevitable to have some trees overshadow other trees, but if
Yeah.
you are smart about how you
Yeah.
do things, you can okay, I keep this in small now so they all get light, but then I make it grow and it would not interfere with any trees for the rest of the game.
right.
So yes, that's strategy in that.
Nice.
So you do this for 4 seasons. At the end of the game, there is one additional way in which you gain points, which is using those cards that I told you each round are discarded from the pool, because one card is always left. So let's say that over the whole duration of the game, a certain number of cards is going into the, I don't know if I'm keeping stuff into the frame, so sorry if something is getting
Yeah, I
out of
think
the
this
screen.
is in frame. Yes.
Okay. So let's say these are the cards. There should be more than that. These cards, the number of these icons on these cards determines the value in points of the big trees and the big trees only in that color. So a big tree in the white area would now be worth 5 points, while a big tree in the red area, since there are no red cards here, would actually be worth 0. So since you see during the game which kind of lands are getting more valuable, and those are the lands that were not chosen in the beginning, now those lands will become more, those biomes we call them in the game, those biomes will be more attractive, so people will start to compete to get those cards, because in the end of the game the big trees in there will be more valuable. But then again, some of the cards show a different symbol, which is always never finding. There is this aridity icon that if you take this card, it works just like any other, but if it is discarded, it flips the topmost card of the pile. So if you have a lot of big trees in that area, maybe if you see this card, you take it even if it's not the best one for you right now, because it will protect your score at the end of the game. On the other hand, if you don't have many trees there, maybe you let that go through, because that will damage the score of the other players at the end of the game and give you an advantage.
Okay.
So there's quite a few layers of strategy in a game that otherwise has quite simple rules.
Yeah.
Because
and
basically
not
that's
too
it.
many components, and this is something
No.
I love.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a central board, right? This is the player board.
Yes.
And you only have the cards and the beautiful.
Small meeples,
yeah, meeples.
Triples we call them in the
Triples.
yes, we call them triples in the game.
That's great. It's a nice one. So how many players can play this game?
It's from 2 to 4 players.
2 to 4.
Yes.
And how long is it? Because this looks like a not very complex game.
No, and it's also quite quick.
Okay.
Because apart from when people are picking cards during the drafting phase, you are basically almost all of the time playing simultaneously. So it's like 45 minutes to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour at the most. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna show the cover again.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's so beautiful. Like,
Yeah, it has a serene atmosphere,
Yeah,
and also a lot of people has been comparing this game to photosynthesis because of the design
Yes.
and some of the mechanics.
Yeah.
But many of them have also been saying that compared to photosynthesis, where you had this fierce competition for space in the shared board, this feels similar in a way, but a more relaxed experience.
Right.
So
there is indirect interaction.
there's
so-
well, it's not that indirect in the competition for the
Okay.
cards,
Yeah.
because if I steal a card that you really want, yes, it's indirect in a way, but also it can be troublesome for
Yeah.
your strategy.
Yeah. Okay.
But then again, you also there's something useful you can do. Maybe that was not the best option you were thinking of, but no card is really useless.
Just showing more.
Yeah, yeah.
ways.
Oh,
Nice.
this card, for example, is a wild card, which is another layer
Oh,
of. They
okay.
don't give any points at the end, so they are discarded for good. But you can choose the color on the planet that you can use with those cards.
Right.
So
Cool. So you guys are selling this here at Essen?
yes, it's available in Essen. It was in short quantities previously available also at GenCon.
Oh, okay.
And it's soon going to be available at retail in various moments depending on the country. But yes, the game is available now here, and it will soon be available in many
And
places.
It doesn't matter in what languages because this is language independent.
Yes,
right?
we have several languages. The rule book is available in several languages on our website. So if you,
Okay.
the English version and the German version are probably going to be available the soonest, briefly followed by the Italian one, I think. But then
Okay.
again, the game is language independent. So
Right. And do you still have copies?
yes, we have. The quantity is shrinking, but
Because, yeah, I hope you guys are not sold out. I want to buy a copy.
oh yeah,
I love
yes.
it.
For a while we still have them, but they are going away.
Okay.
So
I
if
have
you
to be
want
fast.
one, yes, be fast.
All right. We have a question from Chad saying, do you have English rules for this at Essen? Is the question?
We have a few copies in English still left, I think, and we also may have some spare English rules in the case that's not the case.
Uh-huh.
But then, as we are saying, the game is language independent, and the
Yeah.
English rules are on our website, I think. So,
Oh, okay. That's,
but I
that's
think
sold,
that last time I checked, some English copies were still available. Yes.
All right. That's cool to know. Okay, that was Evergreen. Thank you so much for the explanation.
Thanks to you for having me.
And we have one more game from Horrible Guild
Yes.
that is coming up.
Okay, and they set up for me.
The Great Split,
That's great.
which sort of tells me that it is about ballet or
Not
dance.
really,
Ah, no?
but yes, in a way, and no. It's about fancy parties with rich people
Oh.
trading expensive stuff. So,
Oh,
yes.
I didn't expect that.
If you are missing some component, just let me know.
Okay.
But I think most of it is complete. Thank you for setting the game for me.
Awesome, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this
So
is the cover, the Great
Yeah.
Split. And I will show you guys also, yeah, here, I think it shows better.
And maybe you can also see the gold
this,
effect, yes.
Yeah, okay, this is about rich people.
Yeah, that is what we wanted to communicate with the cover, yes.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought it was about dancing, but I'm very intrigued to know the theme. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, how it plays.
The game is a game from Yamaha, and together with Lorenzo Silva, the same duo who did Railroad Inc., The King's Dilemma.
Dilemma,
Yes,
yeah.
so they made
A
a
lot
lot
of your games
yes,
as well.
exactly. Yeah, Lorenzo Silva is the owner of the company, and Yamahaki is one of us anyway. So
Okay.
yes, he's
Okay.
working with us. So the theme of the game is rich people collecting expensive stuff and trading stuff with each other in order to have the most prestigious collection of all.
Okay. This is a competitive game.
Yes, this is a competitive game. It can play from 2 to 7 players, so that's a lot of players, yes.
Oh, okay.
And each player has their own board, but this is also a game that moves quickly because you basically always play simultaneously. There's not a lot of downtime, no matter which is the player count. So,
I'll move this a bit further down because
Oh, yeah?
people don't see it. We have like a small part of the board.
yeah, sorry.
But I think that's okay now. Yeah.
Okay, so The main mechanism of the game is based on these cards. You start the game, there are 3 levels of cards, but that's not very important for the explanation. You start the game with 4 cards, then you draw 1 card each round. So you actually have 5 cards in your hand at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
And each card shows you some precious stuff that you can add to your collection.
Okay.
But you don't do that straight up. You have to use your wallet
Oh, that's a wallet.
with this splitter card. You look at your cards, you decide how you want to split them into groups, and you use this card to mark the separation. Then you put all your cards into this wallet.
How you want, you place the separation
Yes, where you want.
Okay.
You can. They don't need to be the same number of cards or the same nothing. You can do what you want.
Okay.
When you're decided, you put the cards in your wallet, and then you pass the wallet to the player to your right.
Okay.
At the same time, you receive another wallet from the player to your left. When that happens, all players open the wallet they received. You look at the cards you have received, and then you choose which of the 2 groups you want to keep for yourself. Then you give the other back to the other player together with their wallet.
Okay.
At that point, you also receive your wallet back to the player you gave it, from the player you gave it. And so your new hand of cards will be made from part of some cards you have picked from the player from your left. The other cards were given back to you from the player to your right, but you didn't choose which
Right,
group.
which half. yeah.
Okay. So now that you have those cards in hand, you can play them one by one, just to remember what you played and what you didn't.
And you can rearrange these before you place this. You can rearrange them as you want, or are there rules? for
No.
that?
At that point, it's just stuff that you have, and there's
Okay,
no influence in
okay.
the order.
Yeah. Okay.
So you play them, and you add the corresponding amount of that thing to your collection. So, for example, this is 2 art pieces, another one, a blue gem, 2 purple books, ancient tomes actually, and your splitter card also acts as a wild card, so you can add any one thing to your collection. After everybody has done this, you do some cleanup that I'll explain later. You move to the next round. You draw a new card from the corresponding level as told by the board. If you have more cards than the limit allowed by the current round, you discard some. And then you do this old thing again. But what is the point? The point is that each kind of resource will give you points in different ways and at different points of the game. So,
Okay.
for example, in this setup, there are these tokens that are placed randomly on the board at the beginning. And in this game, we have a scoring for the art pieces at the end of the 3rd round, then a scoring for the ancient tomes and the gems at the end of the 4th round. Then again, you get points for everything again at the end of the game, and you also gain 1 additional kind of points that I explain later at the end of the game. So, since the resources score in different moments and also they score in different ways, as long as while you build your collection, it will become clearer and clearer to you which are the resources that you want the most. So, in order to be sure that the next player will give them back to you, your job will be to make an enticing offer for them on the other side. So, for example,
An offer they cannot refuse.
what?
An offer they cannot refuse.
Exactly. So you put stuff that you know they want on one. You try at least to do that.
Yeah.
To put stuff you know they want on one side, so that they leave you with the other side, which contains the cards that you want. So, for example, let's say that I realize that the other player wants books, and I really want art pieces.
Yeah.
So maybe in this case I would make this offer more enticing by moving this gem here, because I don't really care about that.
Right.
I really want this, and he wants this.
So you basically have to really care about what others are doing.
Yes, most of everything you care about what the player to your right is doing,
You're right,
because
yeah.
he is the one who gives back
Doing
some of the
business with you,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But also the player to your left will be doing the same to you. So maybe because the other half of this coin is that the other face of this coin is that you try to make an enticing offer, but then maybe the other player realizes that if they take these hard pieces from you, you will make it will be a huge damage for you. So maybe they take this anyway, and you're screwed. But you can do the same to the player to your left, and everybody is trying to read the minds of the other players and try to see what their strategy might be and try to make offers that push them to take what you want them to take so that you can get back what you want.
Yes, yes. So there's some sort of, in a way, diplomacy. In a way.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
But it's more strict because also because the various scoring mechanisms are different, so you can kind of read the interest. For example, let's simulate a game. So the first thing that will be scored is art. So we do all we just described. Then at the end of the game, you flip this token. These are all randomly selected, and there's more than this. So you don't know everything that will come out of them. So this means that this slider here will slide 2 spaces forward. Then we play another round, we do everything we just said, and then we flip another token. This is 1 more space. Then another round, another token. Oh wow, now 4. So now we score art. And let's say that this is the current level of art on our collection. We look, this is 7 hearts. So 7 means 10 points. Since you see this progression, you can try to predict which level of art will be needed to score points when the time will come. So you play on that and try to get enough art in your collection to score points.
Right.
Or you realize that you're never going to make points, but the next player is. So you use art as a sort of sweetener to push them to take one thing and leave you the other.
Right.
Then on the next round, we don't score for art until the end of the game again, but this keeps happening, so this moves forward. Now we score the books, and books are more easy. It means just that, for example, if I have this many, I score 3 points. If I just add 1 more, that would be 6 points. So this is more straightforward, but something else to play with. Gems are even, again, different. So you only make points for the least advanced of the 2. So for example, if you have 4 green gems, you make double that, so 8 points, even if you are very high on the blue gems. So the best way to have gems is to try to keep them more or less at the same level, because at that point it doesn't matter which one you're gaining, but you're still always getting points when gem scoring happens.
Right.
Then you keep doing that, your collection keeps increasing. At the end, you make the final kind of point that you get only at the end of the game is tied to these tracks below. You gain these when one of these seals shows up. There are 2 kinds of seals, and level 3 cards, because the cards you draw during the game get stronger and stronger. In the level 3 cards, there are also wild card seals that you can use wherever you want. If you look at the board, you see these icons here are called contracts. And for example, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contract icons here, their value depends on my position on this track. If my token is here, each one of these 5 icons is worth 2 points. So to better prepare for the end of the game, maybe I push 1 more here, so that they all are worth 1 point more now. So this is another layer of strategy that you can use during the game to improve your score. Also because on these tracks you see bonus spaces. When you hit one of these, you get one bonus advancement on the corresponding track, because each one of these tracks is tied to one of the other resources, including gold, which I didn't mention yet, because it is not tied to any score specifically for it, apart from the contracts. But if you hit one of these spaces with double arrows, it's like you can use those to have a double bonus advancement on any of the other tracks. So it's like you are paying with gold to get something else. And this helps you adjust your collection to optimize the position of the various tokens for the scoring.
Right. What would you say is the weight of the game? Like, is it medium?
It's medium because there's not that many rules, and once you get the grip of it, it's really quite simple, and also it flows quickly because people always playing simultaneous, as I said before.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody's doing. You just receive some card. You know what you want. You check. You try to understand what the other player wants. You try to make a split. You offer it. You pick some cards from the other player while you wait. Then you get back some cards. Say, oh crap, I'm screwed. But then again, you try to make the most of what you get, or maybe you obtain exactly what you want, and then you say, yes, I made the right offer.
Yeah. And how long is it then? Is it
it's 45 minutes, yes. More or less 45 minutes.
Okay, this looks stunning. I really like
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
This is the art is from Weberson Santiago, which is a very when you see a game with art by Weberson, you realize it's him because he has a very recognizable style.
Okay.
He made, for example, one of the later editions of Coup. He made Art of War.
That's true.
He's from Brazil, and he has this striking style that it's really beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. So people can find this game at your booth
Yes.
here in Essen.
Yes.
Otherwise, can they buy it at their local store, or when?
I don't know when it will be. For now, this is a multi-language edition in English, Italian, and German.
Oh.
So at least in those countries, it should be easy-ish to find soonish. I don't know the date, sorry. But we also have it available on our recently launched e-commerce on our website. And we also currently have an offer. It's called Spiel at Home. So even if you can't be here, you can buy our Essen games with free shipping if you spend at least 30 euros, I think. So enough, if you buy any one of the big games of the fair, it's enough to get the game at your home with free shipping. And it's a way to
bring
people that cannot be here. We bring Spiel at Home to you.
That's very nice. All right. Thank you so much, Alessandro.
Thanks to you for having me
Beautiful
once again.
games. I hope you're enjoying the fair.
Yes, I do. I hope the same for you.
Yeah,
Even with all the talking you're probably having to do.
No, I enjoy listening to.
Okay, you're
all
more
the
listening than
games.
talking. Yeah.
And I'm happy because I'm seeing a lot of games right here in this corner.
Yes.
So I'm really lucky. I
Yes.
guess. So yeah, I'm having a good time. Enjoy the fair. Thank you so much for
Thanks for
being here.
you again for having me, and
I'll see you at your booth. I guess.
yes,
I'll
we
pass
wait
by.
for you.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
So we are having the next game. We were supposed to end our stream, but we really wanted to invite the next publishers to talk about their games. And the next game is Undaunted Stalingrad. And we have the game already set up. So stay with us. We have 30 more minutes of awesome games. Yay, okay. This looks amazing. And we have Benji, right?
Hello.
Hi, I am Eleni.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, so Benji from Osprey Games is going to talk to us about Undaunted Stalingrad. I have to tell you that I'm a huge Undaunted fan.
Thank you.
I love, I have North Africa, I have Normandy, reinforcements, and I'm really looking forward to this one, which is not going to be released yet. I mean, it's not here at Essen, so you guys, you know, there's no FOMO here because it will be released when?
Well, I've got a little bit of FOMO for Essen people. We're demoing it here.
They're demoing
So people are getting hands-on with it here at Essen. But it's being released on Thanksgiving, so November 24th.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
soon.
Soon, very soon. All right, so I've heard that this is sort of a campaign game.
Yep.
What should people who love Undaunted know about Stalingrad? Like, what's new, what's exciting about this one?
So we have a lot of new stuff. The big, exciting thing that we want everybody to know is that Undaunted Stalingrad is taking the Undaunted system, flexibility of the Undaunted system that everyone knows and loves, and it really fleshes out all of the campaign elements. So this version is a replayable legacy game. So it's a campaign that has much more story. It's got branching narratives. So every scenario that you play, when you finish, the victor will change which scenario you play next. So you'll read different story. We have over 150 different story elements from author Robbie McNiven. You'll read different story about characters who are in the game and on the cards. That story will then lead you to new scenarios. There are 35 scenarios in the box. So we have almost 3 times the content of our normal Undaunted game, so it's very heavy, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it's
but the campaign itself plays 12 to 15 scenarios all tied together. So that's your campaign. When you've played those 12 to 15, you can then finish the game, rebox everything, and you can play again, and your story will be completely different. You can switch sides, completely resettable. And as I said, there's 35 in the box, so you'll see a fraction of it, and there's a lot to explore.
So the stories that take place, are they related to the actual historical events?
Exactly.
But they're shuffled in the order that they happen?
Exactly. So the actual game itself covers the Battle of Stalingrad across the city. Our designer, David Thompson, has a very deep knowledge of military history. He really knows his stuff. We've balanced the military history aspect so that we're staying true to some aspects of the actual conflict itself, but also we have enough abstraction so that it's still engaging and fun for people. So tiles like this building, for example, this was an actual building from Stalingrad, and on the back we have a little bit of story from the actual building and about it itself. So we're trying to add more flavor than we've ever added before. The same thing then gets applied to these soldiers. So the soldiers all have names, and you get attached to them as you go through the campaigns.
Well, they did have names in the previous games as well.
The difference here is that these soldiers have names, but when they get removed from the game and they're lost, they will be replaced by reinforcements who you do not know their names. The reinforcements are from places we don't know. They are not as good, they're not as well trained as the soldiers that you know. So you get more attached to these people as you see them over the course of your campaign. They can get promoted now.
I love that, actually.
So we have like these little characters that have stars on here. These are the upgraded cards. So after each scenario, you'll have some soldiers that will be upgraded. And these soldiers will get new abilities, they'll learn new skills, maybe get new weapons. So a rifleman might get a scope and be able to shoot further. They might get grenades or other new weapons. I'm not spoiling all the weapons. Or a scout, for example, might progress through the ranks and be able to control like a commander does.
So I see some of the same sort of, like I've seen engineers, machine gunners, snipers, and I guess snipers play a big role.
Snipers play a huge role. If anybody's seen Enemy at the Gates, this is exactly that conflict that we're playing through. And the snipers really are the backbone of these in terms of telling the key story points. They are the most powerful cards in the game. Their attacks are overpowered compared to everybody else. They are really important.
Bigger than one?
Some of them will have they'll be rolling 4 dice, which is huge. These guys can shoot all the way across a battlefield because if you're rolling 4 dice, you don't care if you need to roll 10s because you're rolling 4 of them. In my personal campaign at home, I'm playing with some of the guys from work. In our campaign, I actually lost one of my snipers immediately when I got them. So of my 3 sniper cards, I now only have 2. So for the rest of my campaign, Yeah, I'm now fighting with fewer snipers, so the narrative itself is kind of emergent in the gameplay. Like, I now have a vendetta against who killed that sniper, because I also remember my snipers who keep missing with every shot, because the fact that they missed those shots meant that I lost that scenario, and that then kind of affects not just the game itself, but the ongoing campaign.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Are there any vehicles like?
Yep. So we're not spoiling exactly what's here, but I know some people have been looking on Board Game Geek where we've got some art and photography up. So people have been guessing. I can say that there are tanks. If people know the conflict, then they'll know a little bit more about it. Vehicles were a big part of Stalingrad. We have tiles that vehicles cannot move through because they're too densely populated. But we also have the engineers who are able to lay mines now. We have mines that can lock out certain tiles, and they can use anti-tank mines and protect those areas from vehicles coming through.
Right, okay. And is the length of each game different than the previous games? As in, is it longer? Is it shorter? Is the difficulty different? I don't know. What should I expect?
I think players who have played Normandy in North Africa, they can definitely expect that exact same feel. Okay. Games will take anywhere between sort of 45 minutes if you play very quickly, and often if you win very quickly.
Yeah, it depends.
But it depends. Some of them are a bit longer. In particular, at the end, this campaign has much more of a narrative, so you can expect that there's a huge crescendo that I won't spoil, but it's a much bigger battle that we're playing through. So there's much more of a story feel to it, and that reflects in the actual gameplay itself. So more of the same, but it's going to be a lot more engaging for players.
Right. There's a question from chat. Oh, there's not a question, it's just a remark that they're saying ambush vibes. Waiting for this one on my winter table.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Me too, actually.
It's great that we've got just in time for Christmas. So I know a lot of people are going to have some time off for the holidays. We're anticipating that people will be playing through these in the holidays altogether.
Yeah. So this will be released. Thanksgiving. You said. Is there anything else, like any more surprises to expect from the stuff?
So we have a lot of stuff in the box that I'm trying to keep. We have some tokens that I've not explained anywhere yet. So there is some cool stuff that we're keeping. Importantly, we have destruction of buildings in this that I don't think I've mentioned. So now buildings can be reinforced, so some of them can have higher defense values on the locations if you control them. Other buildings can be completely demolished, and those tiles have variant tiles. So there are up to 3 variants of a single tile for some buildings, showing the different levels of destruction. And again, those persist through the campaign. So we're hoping that the box organizer here will be a great way to track your game. We've obviously got plenty of surprises in our lock decks, as you can expect with any kind of branching narrative game. We've got content that gets hidden until you find it in the story. Characters get upgraded with these codes here on the side, so it means you can hide the rest as surprises. So I'm trying to not show off too many of them to the people here, but the decks are enormous. There's a lot of content in the game, and it gets all tracked through this. So when people replay, they move their cards through the boxes as they replay.
And show just briefly. We're not going to show any details, but this is.
But you have
sections. What the box looks like inside.
You have sections for when characters get removed from the game. You go into a section. When you unlock new stuff, it goes into yours that's used for your supply. And importantly, when you finish playing, the resettle nature means you can just reset the box and you're good to go again.
And I suppose there's no solo for this.
There's not. We've been hearing a lot of people asking for it. We definitely hear the fans. We know how important solo is. People were really so excited for reinforcement solo stuff. The solo itself just wasn't possible for Stalingrad because we wanted to have this emergent story. The decisions are so impactful. Any meaningful decision made by an AI just wouldn't have felt the same for a campaign that's as long and engaging as this.
Right, and the 4-player version, like in reinforcements, will this be possibly available?
So we don't currently have any plans for 4-player with it, specifically because we wanted to reflect the two sides.
Yeah.
However, we have been playing some 4-player ourselves, effectively playing with 2 players playing as one side. I know a lot of people have been playing normally that way until reinforcements came out. So it's something we're looking at. It's obviously a big feature of reinforcements, and we're kind of looking to see if people are thirsty for more 4-player stuff.
Right. Well, I'm really looking forward to this.
Great, thank you.
Being on my table. I love Undaunted, and I hope people should, they should check it out when it comes out. Yeah, very wintry game. It's one of my, the games I played the most the last year.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about this, and thank you so much for showing this to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And yeah, enjoy the fair. Good luck with everything.
We certainly will do.
And yeah, thank you so much, Benji.
You're welcome.
And we are moving on to our last game for today. And I just want to warn you guys that if you see the lights turning off, it's a normal thing. It happened yesterday at around this time because it's officially the end of today's Spiel, Essen Spiel. It's only the publishers that stay at this hour up until 8. So yeah, if you see some weird things happening, don't worry. It's normal. And we're moving on to our last game for today. And it's Ice from this way. And this is such a gorgeous game. I hope you guys, can get a good look at it because this looks stunning. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. And yeah, I don't think you can see all the stuff that are on the table because our show is very small. Hi.
Hey, Eleni.
How are
you?
We've met over email
Yeah.
at some point. I'm glad to see you in person.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. And yeah, this game is gorgeous. And this is like the final sort of version of it, like a production.
Yeah, this is the PPC, the pre-production copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to show this to people. Wow. Is this like a deluxe version, or do people
Yeah,
get
it's
this?
the deluxe because of the silk screen. The core version is like this, and the silk screen on
I
the
was telling
collector.
people, I don't know if you can hear this. Yeah. So you get a glimpse of what's like being at Essen as a publisher. The lights are off, and people are, sort of being happy that the day was successful and that it's over. But we still have some more time to talk about Ice. So yeah, can you tell us what the game is about?
Okay, it's a game about exploration. You are expedition leaders, and so you have some archaeologists on the board, and you are going to be on some tiles, and when you move, the little archaeologists follow you. And so as soon as you are 3 on a tile, then you excavate the tile. So it's a game about digging the board. And there is 5 layers of board. So perhaps we can show, I don't know if there is a, yeah? Okay. Let's have a dig. There is
It becomes a darker color. as you go
exactly.
down.
And the first layer is about the snow tile. They can be used with some effects. And the other one are some artifacts. And this is a game about collection, so you can put the artifacts on your guild board. Perhaps you can show it
Yes.
better than me. And each artifact allow you to unlock some abilities. So for each of the 5 colors. But on the same time, you have to send them to the city so you can validate some request card. For example, this one, you will need a yellow one and a white one. So there is a balance between having the power of the guild more powerful and sending these artifacts to the city to score. Because if you don't send them, then you score 0.
Right.
And there is also a game about opportunity, because when you play your guild, then the archaeologists follow you, so you can some kind of shipping the
This is like a free action that they come with you?
Yeah, it's free. So you do need to make some semi-cooperation to be enough to excavate. But at the same time, when you do this, there is some fight between the expedition leaders. And when you reach like the really bottom of the board, you will find the edifices.
Wow.
And edifice, there are 12 different edifices. And when you find an edifice, you have to look on the edifice booklet to the page, and it's a new variant for the game, which means that next time you can play with this new variant. It's like soft legacy for the game.
Right. How many people can play?
It's up to five players, and it's a 90 minutes game.
90 minutes. Is there a solo as well?
Yeah, there is a solo.
Right.
Which is more like beats the time. You have to you have less days, and you have to achieve some objective before the end of the last day.
And are there different sort of ways to win the game? Different paths to victory?
Yeah. You have also you have the request card are like personal, but you also have some public card, 3, and so they give you some way of winning. So you can concentrate on your own request. You can also concentrate on this. And there is also some logbook cards during the game. It's a game with 7 days, and at the beginning of each day you have a new logbook card. And it gives you some bonuses for the days to come.
Okay, wow. And I show this. All right. There is some remark from the chat. It's not a question, but there's that the game is absolutely gorgeous, and I agree. This is like one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, and especially like the fact that you're digging into the ice and finding stuff, finding artifacts. And what was this called?
Yeah, it's just to say that all the art is from Léonard Dupont. And is really talented, and we are really thankful to have him on the team.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite aspect of the game?
I'll say that it's a game where you have to cooperate with other players. If some player wants to be like on solo, and it doesn't work very well, because you do need the other player. But it's competitive. By the way, there is one edifice which is a cooperative variant. So you can also play with the co-op variant.
I love the fact that you're actually discovering things that will change your later games. It's more like, you know, using the exploration to take it to another level. But the player is an archaeologist itself through the game to discover new things, and I think that's great. And you were saying that I interrupted you. You were saying your favorite aspect of the game.
Yeah, it's the fact that
cooperative.
Yeah, and there is a lot of action who can change the game for the other players.
Right.
And
Depending on like the interaction. I
yeah,
guess,
yeah, yeah.
on the table.
It's also a game of opportunity.
Also, people. Where can people find this game? First of all, because I think you are demoing it at Essen.
Yeah.
Here. Can people buy it here?
No, not for now. We are working right now for having it in retail. But you do need, we need to adjust the gameplay a little bit so the game can go to retail. Because for now it's really too expensive.
Right.
But we plan to have next year a retail version and at the same time also a V2, version 2 of the game on Kickstarter with an expansion.
Wow. Okay. So the retail version would be just smaller, or do you know anything about that?
Yeah, what we do have in mind is having perhaps less layers. Also having some card stock and not cardboard, not seal screen.
I'll show again the illustrations. Those are beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it was for my brother and I really important to have it in retail. And for now we don't succeed on this aspect, but we work on this with the manufacturer, with also the graphist, to brainstorm on this.
Right.
To give birth to a retail version.
I really hope this will be available because this is one of a kind. I think it's really, really unique. Who you think will like this game? Like, what kind of player will like this game?
It's an expert game, but light. I'll say light medium. It's about exploration. It's about opportunity. So if you just like a game with strategic just on your own, it doesn't fit very well because you have to look at what's the yeah definitely. Yeah, that's it.
Anything else you'd like to share about the game? Maybe about like what inspired you guys to make such a game?
Yeah, sure. One game that we do have in mind and one Kickstarter campaign was the one of Violate Fate.
Which one, sorry?
Violate Fate.
Okay.
The from Force Studio, the guys of Moonwakers.
Right.
And it was really inspiring. We do like what they do in terms of graphics, and also they like aspect of social deduction, this kind of stuff. And the next game, which is a prequel of ICE Founders, is about hidden aliens and this kind of stuff and mechanics.
Founders is at your booth, right?
Yeah.
People can see it and demo
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
You can play the prototype. You just have the first prototype, and you can test it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This game is stunning. I hope you guys make it to retail soon. So
Yeah, sure.
we can get it because it's gorgeous. charges. Thank you so much for being here and for explaining the game.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I hope you're enjoying the fair.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, good luck with everything. This is amazing. Well done. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I have to say my final goodbyes also to the people who are watching us. This was the last game we're gonna see for today, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow at 4 p.m. We have a lot more games to show from the fair, plus one game we're gonna play with content creators. We're gonna play Pictomania with semi-co-op and Ready Steady Play. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks a lot.